krld-fm and HD1, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. An Odyssey station.
Driven by our D&M Leasing Studios. Thanks for turning it on, leaving it on. 105.3 The Fan.
Ooh-wee. Good morning, everybody. It is a Saturday morning. I'm Chris Arnold, along with Eric Casarez.
Great to be here, man.
The Fan Phenom. Adam is in the Pimp Cup, a.k.a. Black Adam, over there holding things down. We're here for you and you and you. 877-881-1053. That's the Frankel and Frankel Injury Attorneys text line. We know everybody's got something to do on a beautiful Saturday afternoon and morning and midday, and we'll be with you all the way till 2 o'clock, and that's where you get to hear the second Texas Rangers spring game. They'll be taking on the Cubs out in Surprise, Arizona. We're going to keep you ready and locked and loaded. We're going to talk about everything in the world of sports that you love to talk about, including football, baseball, basketball, hockey, golf, track, tennis, archery, rodeo, auto racing, horse racing, Olympics, and more, because that's the way we roll, and you like it like that. 877-881-1053. Let us know what you got going on. I always like to say, it's a gig economy. People going to do what they do 7 days a week, or sometimes it's just on a Saturday. Sometimes it's just over the weekend. Sometimes it's every other day. And it's a gig economy because sometimes people like it like that on purpose. Some people ain't got no choice. But we know everybody ain't off on a Saturday. But if you are off, let us know what you got going on. Are you going to play a little golf? Are you going out there to play with the kids somewhere? It's too cold to get in a lake. It is February still, but guess what? The weather's going to be better today than it was yesterday. The high today is going to be 63.
Oh, I love it.
Right now it's 55, and I heard you say you love it. I always like to give everybody your credibility. Not only do you do a podcast, you've been doing this podcast for how long?
Since COVID.
Since COVID.
Yeah. So
you got your own podcast. You won the Fan Phenom, took the belt from Blake Elliott. Blake was
Still haven't got the belt, by the way.
Yeah, physically he's holding hostage.
Yeah,
you got to come
right.
up with a good price. You got to negotiate that thing with Blake. But you won the Fan Phenom. And more importantly, I like to talk about your track career because not only, where'd you go to high school?
So I went to Keller Central.
Keller Central.
Yep.
Got a scholarship to OU. Transferred to Texas A&M. You hold a few records over there, cross country and long distance. Tell those records again for everybody.
Yeah, so I got the indoor 5K, outdoor 5K, and then I had the DMR distance medley relay, which for those that don't know, it's a 1,200 handoff to a 400, handoff to an 800, handoff to a 1,600 leg. I had that school record for about 2 years, and it got broken last year.
Look out. But see, you had the record.
I had
which
it.
means you fast when you want to be, and you're a dog because you go long distance. I'm saying this and giving you all your props because for those who are keeping up, next weekend, it's the Big 12 Indoor Track Championships up in Lubbock. And my son Alex runs the 800-meter and the 600-yard and the 400 and the 4x400 for TCU. So they'll be doing all that next weekend. And I'm looking at the weather today. Eric, ever told you about my running history, my personal running history?
Not yours, but hey, shout out to Alex. Is he running the Arkansas qualifier this week, or is it
Not
just
this week.
is it off?
He's actually doing, like I said, the Big 12. He's part of the team that's going up to the Big 12 championship.
Okay, so he's getting ready for Big 12s then.
Exactly.
There you go.
And
How about that?
I'm looking at the weather out there, and before I tell you a little bit about my running history, and again, I'm not some big-time track guy at all, but I have run long distances, including marathons, half marathons, and 5Ks.
Well, tell me about it. Let's hear it.
Before we get into it, let me just take a deep dive right here and say the weather is perfect for some people. For you, is this good weather, or do you prefer hotter weather or colder weather? And I'm asking because anybody that runs long distances, you have a preference.
Yeah, well, I think it all depends on where you were raised, right? And for me, I'm a Texas boy. I grew up in Fort Worth my whole life, and so I'm used to the heat, right? And
So you prefer that heat?
I prefer it to be a little warmer. I don't like it being, 95 with 80% humidity like it is in the summer, and it's brutal. I don't like that. And if I don't get out the door by 9 a.m., then I regret it every time. And I'm like, why did I do that? And then I end up doing it again. It's a flaw of mine. But anyways, nonetheless, I prefer warmer weather. I think the perfect threshold for me is probably anywhere between 60 to 70 degrees. I think that's perfect. Like, I consider that warm.
See, this is what I consider a perfect day, too.
Yeah.
Today's the kind of day that I would get out and run.
A little chilly, too. A little bit of wind breeze.
A little chilly, because, again, when you start running, you're starting to get hot, you're going to be sweating and stuff. So, to me, this is the perfect weather because when you finish, you can kind of cool down.
And I will say this, C8, there's a difference between whether just going for an easy run and whether racing. Because I consider perfect racing weather, I like it to be a little bit cooler. So I'm talking about maybe 50s.
There you go. See, that's another thing I was going with. I ran the White Rock Marathon. It's the Dallas Marathon now, but back in the day, in the 2000s, early 2000s, I think I did this in 2005. 2006. I ran the White Rock Marathon, and the goal for me was to finish.
There you go.
Because some people don't know. You go 26 miles, some people can't make it. Some people start out too fast, and they get tired, and they fall out. And they don't realize there's some elevation involved, too. It's not like you're running mountains, but still.
No.
And you'll appreciate this. And I've told this story once or twice before. I nearly drowned after the race. No, I didn't fall into the lake. I didn't fall.
Okay, I was about to say.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm running. By the way, I was training by myself because I could get nobody to. I have a crazy schedule as it is, doing radio and stuff and Maverick games and covering sports.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm like a month and a half out, and I can't get anybody to train with me, so I'm just doing it by myself. So I'm running, 10 miles here, 15 miles there, building it up, right? And I'm like, I'm going to go over 26 so that when I do the 26, I'll be all right.
Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah, well, that was my plan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what the plan was, or that's what happened.
Not saying it's a good plan, but you did it.
Yeah, and the White Rock Marathon, this Dallas Marathon is in December. It's always like the first couple of weeks in December.
Yep.
So the weather's kind of like today and whatnot. And I'm training, and I got cramps one time. I was up off a Northwest Highway, and I caught a cramp real bad, and I didn't have any electrolytes.
Where at?
Oh, it was over by North Park Mall.
No, like where at in the body? Where's the cramp?
In my calf.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh my God, I could not run. I had to walk from SMU all the way back downtown to the downtown walk. I had to walk, and I was so mad I couldn't see straight. I was like, this will never happen to me. I'm going to make sure I'm hydrated, electrolytes and all that. When you run the White Rock, there's people along the way, and they will give you stuff. They will give you water.
The gels,
the gels. And so I always had my gels and whatnot, and I had my music in my ears. This when the race, right? My wife and kids, they said, you know what? We're going to leave the house and stay. My wife said, we're going to stay with my mom and dad, my in-laws, and you can have the house to yourself because you got to get up early, get a good night's sleep, get your carbs, carb load, get ready.
Yeah.
So I was doing everything that I wanted to do. And I'm going around, you start at American Airlines Center, and then you head out towards White Rock Lake, and you're going all over the neighborhoods and stuff. And how come on the far side of White Rock Lake, my headphones went out?
Oh, no.
And I had nothing.
Yeah.
But the birds chirping. And I'm only halfway through. So psychologically, I'm like, oh my God.
You're cooked.
I just got to make sure I finish. I'm not trying to break a record. I just want to beat Oprah's time. Oprah ran a marathon, and everybody said, low key, you got to be faster than Oprah. Whatever you do, you got to break Oprah's time. Well, I did break Oprah's time, and I finished the race. And then when it was over with, remember, I drove myself, my wife and kids, and my in-laws, they were at the finish line. They were waving them. They give me a big hug and got my medal and all that. And so to meet back at the house, I had to drive myself back home. So I drive home, no problem, get to the house, and I'm totally dehydrated at this point. By the way, I didn't pass. This is what a lot of people do. They mess up because they either get dehydrated, they pass out, some kind of heart thing. You just never know. They always have first responders there just in case. Or they get calluses and blisters.
Oh, man.
They're just not ready for all this. I get home. My wife's, here's some champagne. We're going to celebrate. I said, let me go up to the whirlpool. We got a bathtub that's got the jets in it. I said, let me go up there for a minute, and then I'll be right downstairs. Eric, I take a sip of champagne. I'm sitting in the whirlpool, and I caught a cramp.
Again.
This time in my stomach.
Oh, no.
And I went underwater. And because the water was warm, too, that's another mistake. The water was warm.
Yeah.
Whirlpools, I didn't want any freezing cold water. And
Wow.
And then I'm leaning over the edge, right? They don't know. They're downstairs. I'm upstairs in the bedroom. And I kind of leaning on the edge. And I'm laying on the floor butt naked. I compose myself. No more cramps. I go downstairs. What took you so long? I almost drowned.
Yeah, they don't even know you just almost died. Yeah.
So the moral to the story is this. So everybody like, oh, I guess you're going to do these marathons now forever, right? No. I did it. Bucket list. I've done it. And by the way, later that day, I think I had a Maverick game then. No, I know it was a Cowboys game later that evening. I went to the Cowboys game there. I said, why are you walking so slow?
That was a
ran
Sunday,
to White Rock. Whole 9
Wow.
yards. That was great. Anyway, that's my little story about how I almost drowned. And I only bring this up because today's the kind of weather that people like to run 5Ks on the weekend. And by the way, I don't run anymore because I got 4 herniated discs in my lower back because somebody rear-ended me on the tollway, and that ended the running career, but I still stay in shape.
Yeah.
So you have any stories about after you finished a race and you almost died?
Oh,
As
no.
we
I
talk
mean,
about this weather and stuff?
I have. No, not after the race, surprisingly, but during the race, I've almost had my fair share of, I guess you could say, dying, or my term of dying. Not literally dying, but actually, you know how the dying term is.
Yes.
But
your mind started playing tricks on you too.
it did, but you know what? And it was something that I couldn't control, and the reason I couldn't control it had nothing to do with preparation because I prepped well.
Yeah.
You know, I did everything I needed to do. I controlled what I needed to control. The problem was. See, I ran a 10K on the track, SEC Championships 2021 at A&M with pneumonia.
No.
And I had no idea that I had
no idea?
it. No idea I had
Were you
it.
coughing beforehand?
Oh, man, I was, so it was
Coughed
crazy.
up a lung, didn't you?
SEC Championships is a 3-day meet. You know that. Or, I mean, I guess you know you're going to find out Big 12 Championships is a 3-day meet because they have the first day, they have the prelims, and then they have the finals.
Yep.
Okay, and so the 10K is always before the 5K. I was a 5K, 10K guy at A&M. And so the 10K was always on Thursday night. I started getting a little congested that earlier that week, Monday, Tuesday, and I wasn't feeling very good, right?
You didn't feel fluish?
No. Yeah, I just felt like...
Just coughing.
Yeah, just coughing, but it wasn't... Nothing that indicated that I had pneumonia.
Right.
I mean, if I had
You've never had it before, so how would you know?
Well,
right?
actually, I had it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was minor. It was like, you're focusing.
Yeah, it was the very early symptoms of pneumonia,
Yeah.
okay? So I didn't know what to pick it up. And so what happened was I was like, okay, you know what? I'm getting a little congested. The weather's changing. You know what? We'll be fine. So I go run the race. First mile and a half, 2 miles, I feel okay. I feel great. I'm running with the pack. I feel like I'm in my groove, race groove. I get to about mile 3, and at this point, I'm barely halfway done. I can't breathe. And I can't breathe. My chest is pounding. I start coughing, and then, at this point, it's like, you're cooked because every lap starts getting a little slower and a little slower and a little slower.
Next thing you know, you're trotting.
And next thing you know, you're trotting, and next thing you know, you're in no man's land. That's what they call in running when you're by yourself on the track. And so I had a whole section of people cheering me on, which was great. They were chanting, Eric, let's go, let's go. I was getting worse and worse. They didn't know I had pneumonia. I didn't know I had pneumonia. I just knew something was wrong, okay?
Running out of gas.
And it got to the point where there's 26 laps in a 10K. That's a lot on the track. It got to lap 24. I had ran almost a 90-second lap. And that's pretty slow for SEC times. 90-second lap. Almost half a minute and a half. That's a lot. Got to 90 seconds, looked over at my coach, said, cut it.
Yeah, he said, stop, call it, stop.
Just get off.
Like if you're a boxer, throwing the towel.
It's time to get...
Did you stop?
Oh, I did. And you know what? CA, the funniest part, I won't even say it's funny, but the most convenient part about that was... I wished he would have told me to get off about 5 laps earlier than that because I was struggling.
When did you realize it was pneumonia? When did they tell you? Did they tell you the next day or that night?
So I went to the doctor, I think, the day after, and then they're like, yeah, you have pneumonia. But I knew something. I was sick. At least something was wrong probably about 10 or 11 laps in when I couldn't breathe.
See, people don't know. These adventures when you're running, and again, it's a great day to be outside. Got Tolos texting in already. 972 says, I ran my first marathon this past December for the Dallas Marathon. CA, my leg cramped up at the hill in Lakewood on mile 19. I walked 2 more miles and pushed through and barely finished.
Hey, finished though.
Yeah, you finished. You made it. Let's see. 520 says, today's a huge day for my family. Moving from Tucson, Arizona to Scottsdale right in time for spring training. Listening to the Fan all day out in Arizona.
We love it. We love it. Thank you.
We appreciate you. And like I said, oh yeah, it's about you. A&M 972 says, gig 'em, class of 2015. He's listening right now.
Gig 'em.
Got you down. So again, we got a very, very full show. All kinds of things we're going to talk about. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the top 5 NFL quarterbacks on the hot seat going into next season. This is an early list. Has some surprise names on it, but there might be a few names that are still left off that you might say, wait a minute, this dude ain't going to make it, or he might get traded, he might get cut. I don't know if he's going to start. They might bench him. This is a way too early list of the quarterbacks on the hot seat. We also talk about the Stars. They play on Wednesday in Seattle, but there's some Stars right now still have a chance for the gold medal. Who are they? Tomorrow morning is Team USA versus Canada. Man, that's a major showdown, especially after the Big Four last year. Oh, my God.
I know Spittle's getting ready for this one.
You know he is, the hockey hawk. Speaking of people who work here at 105.3 The Fan, we're going to hear from Brian Broaddus. They're getting ready for the Combine. Brian Broaddus on the G-Bag Nation. He's going to join us at 1 o'clock. He is the Super Scout extraordinaire because people love team building, and team building is a sport. Cowboys, guess what? Next season, some people still looking at the schedule. Here's a nugget about their schedule that a lot of people didn't know. Do you realize the Cowboys are going to face 4 new head coaches in the NFL on their schedule? Can you name them, but let alone, can you name any of these new coaches or any of the coaches with their teams in the NFL? There's been a lot of movement. Let's see, Dan Quinn's still at Washington, unless he's shot, he's still here with the Cowboys, but who's still where and who's going next what? We're going to keep up with all these coaches as well. Mavericks lose last night in Minnesota. They're not tanking, but they've lost 10 games in a row. Mm-hmm. How the NFL is going to address tanking, Adam Silver says, get ready this summer, buckle up. And last night, Charles Barkley weighed in. We heard from Chuck what he thinks they need to do to fix some tanking in the NBA. Got a CA Stories Confidential and boxing angle there. We're going to give you some Olympic updates. College basketball matchups today. Believe it or not, the 4 top teams in the nation will face each other. This is like a February Final Four. I'm going to tell you who's taking on who we think is going to win in those matchups. Plus, again, get you ready for this Rangers game. First pitch is at 2:05 this afternoon. Got more and more and more. That's next. Again, Cowboys and the quarterbacks in the NFL on the hot seat next on 105.3 The Fan.
When your friends say, hey, did you hear? You can proudly say, I heard it on the Fan. Keeping you sports informed with some quality laughs along the way. Turn it on and leave it on. 105.3 The Fan, the Odyssey app, iHeartRadio app, and TuneIn app.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken.
house now. We're talking about Christian Parker. And I have to say, CP, are you with me? Because CP is my fraternity brother. He's a Kappa. He's all about achievement. Shout out to Blake Elliott, by the way, for asking the best questions.
Oh, yeah, he did great.
At the press conference the other night. Ask him about his philosophy books and stuff that he studied and the art of war and how he uses that in his team-building approach on defense. We're going to talk about how they've switched from a 4-3 to a 3-4 as a base, and how he's gonna utilize that and manage the talent to fit into his system, right?
Oh, yeah. No.
Going to make his system fit to the talent of the players more.
We can't wait. And I think specifically, too, is because we're kind of going back to the old roots, right? The Bill Parcells days. And a specific player on that Cowboys defense that I loved watching when I was growing up was DeMarcus Ware.
Yes, D. Ware, who got him a ring with the Broncos, just like D. Law. Tank Lawrence got him a ring with the Seattle Seahawks just a couple of weeks ago. All right, there's one thing that the Cowboys don't need to fix, and everybody can totally agree with this, for the first time probably in 10 years. They don't need to fix the quarterback. All these other years, Dak needs to do what they need to do, get rid of Dak, or Dak, if he stays, they need to do whatever they got to do. I think everybody realized Dak Prescott had his best year last year. His best year. And this is including his rookie year, where a lot of Cowboy fans forget. That team won 11 straight games.
If you just take the last 5 years, Dak has probably had maybe 3 of his best years. You know, 2020 this year, 2025, 2023, runner-up for MVP. And honestly, 2021, when he came back from that injury, he was spectacular as well.
Exactly. So the quarterback's not an issue. Meanwhile, around the NFL, there's a lot of teams where the quarterback is the issue. There are some teams, in fact, let's put it like this. There are organizations looking to overhaul or continue to search for their franchise quarterback, whether it's through trades, whether it's through looking at a couple of free agent quarterbacks, or whether it's just drafting a quarterback. Sometimes when you draft, you might wind up draft and develop as opposed to plug and play. See, a lot of teams wish they could plug and play a rookie quarterback. It don't work that way as Sam Darnold. He got the ring, but how long did it take? See, that's where I'm going with this. Are you patient enough to wait it out, Cleveland? You had Baker. You didn't want to wait it out.
Yeah.
Are you patient enough to wait it out, or are you saying, you know what, our guy, he's too old, Aaron Rodgers. He might not even come back. We don't know. Is he going to hold us hostage until we decide what we're going to do? There's a lot of teams trying to figure out what they want to do. Now, there are some quarterbacks on the current team that they are, and CBS Sports has a little list, and people do love lists. Let's call this an early projection. The way too early NFL quarterback hot seat rankings. And you know it's way too early because it's only February.
Yeah.
I mean, the season doesn't even start until September. There's some guys that they know, you know what, is the future even promised if I don't do better or at least do the same in 2026? 877-881-1053. And Eric, I'm asking you this as well. Who do you think belongs on this list, and who do you think is on this list?
Well, let's go ahead and get the heavy hitters out.
Guess.
Heavy hitters out of the way. I'm going to start first with Tua. Tua's got to be on there.
Tua's not on this list because he's probably not going to be in Miami.
Okay, so they think that they're just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah.
These are guys on this list, these 5 players, CBS list. These are 5 quarterbacks who are currently on the hot seat with the start of the season still months away.
Okay.
It's like, okay, do you stick with them or not?
Okay.
If they start falling apart early, are they basically gone?
Yeah. Okay.
Or will they be benched and replaced in the middle of the season?
Well, you know, and before I name this next one, I will say...
And by the way, Tua, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with saying Tua.
Oh, no, yeah, neither are we Tua. And that's what I was going to bring up. My next point is, you know who I think the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins is going to be next year, CA?
Kyler Murray?
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
I think Malik Willis, the ties with Green Bay, Jeff Hafley being the new head coach, John Eric Sullivan coming in as the GM. I think they're going to pay Malik Willis.
Because he's old.
Yeah. Bring him on in.
Not that old, but he's...
And he did enough last year to earn himself a starting job.
You think so?
I think so.
You don't think he's a great clipboard quarterback and an emergency?
Well, we're going to find out because a lot of it could be Matt LaFleur and this offensive identity. Right, yeah, exactly. We're going to find out. But, hey, this happens all the time where a quarterback plays good and a, you know, as a backup or a bad or a good situation and they get the bag, and then, at that point, we're going to find out what they're truly made of. Speaking of truly made of.
Before you go any further, you're going to make a guess?
I was going to make my guess.
Go ahead.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is not on this list.
What?
He's probably going to be traded. I cannot see him playing for the Cardinals again, even though they have a new head coach.
Are you kidding me?
They might not, but they're trying to shop him. I'm serious. They're trying to shop him as we speak.
If this next one isn't on here, I'd be shocked.
Don't guess again, because you got some totals winning with some thoughts. We got two different totals, 945 and the 713, both guessing C.J. Stroud.
That was going to be my
ding,
next
ding,
guess.
ding, 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 ding.
That was going to be my next guess.
On this list. Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud is number 5 on this list. It said a decision on Stroud's future in Houston could come as early as this offseason, as the former number 2 overall pick is now extension eligible. At the very least, the Texans will almost certainly pick up his 5th-year option. But Stroud still hasn't instilled much confidence in his recent season. The Ohio State product burst on the scene with one of the better rookie seasons in recent memory in 2023, but hadn't done squat since then, hadn't showed up with an equal season or a season that was better than that. In fact, he's regressed a couple of fronts on that situation. So the last 2 seasons, his completion percentage is worse than Kirk Cousins over that same stretch. His yards per attempt are below Geno Smith's. His passer rating is below Kyler Murray's. You just mentioned Kyler, who didn't play the second half of the Arizona season last year. Stroud should be heads and shoulders above those quarterbacks, as he's established himself as one of the brightest young players at his position. Instead, he's going in the other direction. And let's not forget the 4-interception game in the divisional round against New England. This is hardly the trajectory a team wants to see when they're considering making him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league on a contract that'll likely pay him somewhere in the range of at least $55 million a year. It also makes people wonder if Houston will hold off on giving him any sort of extension this offseason and merely just pick up the 5th-year auction. If that happens, Stroud will be put further under the microscope when the season starts, as the Texans determine, is he truly worth a big contract?
It's a big year for him coming up.
Exactly. So that's why these 5 quarterbacks are on the hot seat. It's like, you better do something.
Yeah.
You better do something. So there's another name. I mentioned Cowboy fans don't have to worry about Dak, right?
No. Yeah.
I got a Tolo texted in from the 214 says, Dak is good at racking up yards and stats during garbage time, but what prominent wins besides Philly does he have in the last 5 years? See, this is so...
I don't get it.
This is making the numbers dance. And when I say this, it's like this last year showed you he does not play defense. You can't say they didn't go far in the playoffs because it's his fault. There are certain quarterbacks, and I call them top 5 quarterbacks, the Power 5 tier. They're usually the same 5 guys. Their arm talent alone can overcome a bad defense in certain games. Dak isn't in that Power 5. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got to have things certain. He has to have the team kind of laid out for him a little bit, a legitimate running game that you have to worry about, line that can protect him, and at least a couple of receivers that you can count on. You got to have that. Tight end for sure as a safety valve. These last 10 years, he's learned to trust some of his receivers, and he's also a very smart quarterback anyway, so he's gotten better. But maybe you didn't get a chance to see that this past year because defense sucked. Dak himself, he can score 30 points a game, but the defense is giving up 35.
Do people know what the definition of garbage time is? How could Dak possibly be padding his stats in garbage time, they say, if he's the only reason we're even in these games?
Ding, 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 ding.
That doesn't make any sense. Garbage time to me is if you're blowing out a team and you pad in the stats at that point, maybe you don't need to be in the game when you're up 30 and you're throwing touchdowns. Okay, that's garbage time. Or even when you're down by a lot of points and then at that point you're just racking up the stats just to keep your team in it. Just take Dak outright, live to fight another day. And yeah, they've had some losses like that this year, but again, what are they basing that? A couple interceptions at the end of the game where he goes and throws a pick at the end of the game. The game's already over, okay?
Right. He's just trying to make something happen.
Yeah, he's trying to make something happen. But how about the Detroit game where it felt like that was going to be a runaway, and with 9 minutes left, Dak throws that touchdown to Flanoy, wide open. 9 minutes left. They're only down by 3 points. How is that garbage time?
Exactly.
Don't get it.
Like I said, there's recency bias the opposite way. The 940 says on this list, is Jalen Hurts there? No. He's already got his contract. We know that he and his wide receivers and the running game, I'm not saying they don't like each other, but they weren't on the same page a lot of times. And I think they were missing Kellen Moore's magic, so to speak, with their new offensive coordinator. Is Jaden Daniels on this list from the 202? Perusing this list, and no, I do not see Jaden Daniels on this list.
I got one for you.
Okay.
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy, ding, 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 ding. The Vikings quarterback is number 2 on this list. The Vikings bungled their quarterback situation, and it may have cost them their Super Bowl window. They decided to ride with McCarthy, the rookie who was injured, and allow Sam Darnold to depart in free agency last offseason after going 14-3 in 2024. Darnold went on to win the Super Bowl the next season with Seattle, which was last month, or actually the end of the beginning of this month, while McCarthy has largely struggled as the starter. That decision was seemingly a driving force in Minnesota firing their general manager. New GM won't have the same investment in McCarthy as the previous one did, so the former first-round pick is truly at a crossroads. In 2026. In fact, it wouldn't be a surprise if the Vikings, under interim new general manager Rob Brzezinski, brings in some competition this offseason, depending on who comes aboard, Mac Jones, Tua, etc. McCarthy's job could vanish before we even get to week 1. In 2025, McCarthy was 6-4 as the starter, only completing 57.6% of his passes, had 12 interceptions, and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, and the problem with J.J. McCarthy is not just his ability to, but also his availability.
Exactly.
That's been a major problem.
Availability.
Yeah, and that's the risk that they made, because he missed his whole rookie season, right? So they sat him behind Sam Darnold. They could have maybe brought him back, but Sam Darnold was slinging it. And then they, gave him a full offseason. He comes back, and he's been on and off with injury. He's been inconsistent. So this is a big year for J.J. McCarthy. 877-881-1053 from the 214. 682. Can you see Mac Jones landing a starting job anywhere this offseason?
I don't know about a starting job. You're going to have to hold a clipboard first.
I think he could be the starting quarterback for Arizona Cardinals next year.
Because they're going to trade Kyler.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if Kyler's in the Arizona uniform at the start of the season. Let's see. The 407 says Baker Mayfield to the Rams in 2027 is a rumor. What do y'all think about that? I don't see that because Stafford's coming back for one more year. Baker salvage his career that Thursday night football playing for the Rams that one game. And believe it or not, the coach for the Buccaneers was on the staff getting him ready for that game.
Yeah. For
those who don't know, that's from that Sean McVay coaching tree. So he's completely happy at Tampa Bay. They love him there. He ain't going nowhere. And he's got his contract extension, so it's not like they could pry him away. He's going to be a free agent or something. Got a couple other guesses. 945 says Michael Penix Jr. Ding, 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 ding. He's number 3 on this list. Yes, they gave him a benefit of doubt in 2026 because he was recovering from that torn ACL. But guess what? He hasn't impressed since Atlanta selected him with the 8th overall pick. He's 4-8 as a starter. He was 3-6 last year alone. He's completing less than 60% of his passes. Yeah. He's got great weapons back there in the backfield with him. Got running back Bijan Robinson, wideout Drake London. They said the offense under Penix looks clunky. And let me wrap this thing up with a couple more. A couple more guesses and some answers. Let's see. The 945 says Bryce Young. Is he on the list? Ding, 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 ding. He's number 4.
Really?
That's a surprise.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Young is a somewhat similar situation to Stroud. Panthers now have to consider giving him that 5th-year option. And what are they going to do? Along with potentially making him, inking him into an extension, it's a topsy-turvy career for him, after being the overall number 1 pick in 2023. He was benched momentarily, but then he had a solid bounce-back season in 2025. Career highs in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, all of that, getting into the NFC South Championship game. NFC South Championship. So their question is, can he continue it? So it's not like he had a bad year. It's like, is this sustainable, or was it just lightning in the bottle?
So that's 4. We only got one more, right?
Yeah, you want to take a stab at it? And I'll give you this, another Tolo correctly guessed who it is.
Okay.
And he's actually number 1 on the list. Let me go through the top 5 again. Number 5 is C.J. Stroud. Number 4, Bryce Young. Number 3, Michael Penix Jr. Number 2, J.J. McCarthy. And number 1 on the too early quarterback hot seat list for 2026 is
AFC or NFC?
AFC.
Shador Sanders.
Ding, 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 ding. Fair or unfair? Says Shador entered the 2025 season as Cleveland started. He ended the season as Cleveland starting quarterback, but he has hardly established himself as the set and forget figure under center for the organization. Despite the fanfare, quarterback from Colorado wasn't particularly impressive when given his opportunity. In most categories, he was either at or near the bottom of the league after making his NFL debut. With Todd Monken now hired as the head coach, his status as quarterback 1 for 2026, cloudy. When asked about it during his introductory press conference, Monken told reporters, "Well, it'll still be determined. We haven't determined that yet." So there's no clear-cut prospect in Cleveland that could take the number 6 overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Interesting. The team could and likely will look to bring in a veteran to compete for the starting job this offseason. That sets up Sanders to be fighting for his job the moment training camp begins later in the summer. In other words, it's not clear-cut, and therefore he's topping the list on the hot seat of the way too early quarterback hot seat.
I like it.
Is there a name you think should belong on there besides you mentioned Tua and Kyler Murray?
Yeah, Tua and Kyler, I was surprised. No, I don't think so. I don't think the Jalen Hurts was just buzz from Philly media. That's that he's not on the hot seat. I saw from the 469 Jordan Love. No, don't agree with that at all. No.
He's their quarterback.
Yeah, Bryce Young is the one that maybe shocked me the most.
Yeah, that's because they said, can he do it again? And only because an extension or the 5th-year option. If it's the financial consideration that puts him on the hot seat. If he was like year 2 or year 3 of his rookie deal, they ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
Like, he's making progress. They're like, do we need to pay for this progress? Is it for real?
You know who I'm proud of that isn't on this list?
Who's that?
Tyler Shough.
Oh, yeah, New Orleans?
What a great rookie season.
Guys,
Very underrated.
Very underrated for an old quarterback that lasted so long, right? At Louisville. All right, coming up next, we got to talk about the Dallas Stars. How many stars still have a chance to play for the gold medal in the Olympics? Yep, USA versus Canada tomorrow. And who will the Stars play when they return to action next Wednesday? Next on 105.3 The Fan.
When Texas chills, Specs thrills. Keeping spirits high, glasses full, and the fun from freezing over. Bundle up with a bold bourbon or mix up mulled wine that'll melt the frost right off. Whatever your winter looks like, Specs keeps it toasty. Because when the temps dip, grab a jacket, light a fire, and keep the good times rolling. At Specs Wine, Spirits, and Finer Foods, the fun starts here.
Feeling a chill? Those cold spots mean leaking windows, and that's money literally flying out the windows every month on your energy bills. At Best Buy Windows and Siding, we've got the solution. 10 single-hung, energy-efficient windows for just $59.50. Stop wasting money on high electricity bills and start saving today. We offer transparent pricing, no gimmicks, and a lifetime warranty on every single window. Call 469-WINDOWS or visit BestBuyWindowsAndSiding.com now to keep the cold out and your money in your pocket.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Gavin Dawson here from Men's T Clinic. It is time here in 2026. Mention me with your first appointment. Get a free in-body composition analysis and a free...
this afternoon where we're going to pass the baton or pass the pitch, pass the ball. How about hand the ball to the pitcher on the mound because the Rangers are going to take on the Cubs in their second spring game out in Surprise, Arizona Cactus League play. It's not about the final score. You just want to see how these guys look. I got an update for you. You will not see a couple of outfielders for the Rangers for a couple of weeks. Who's the best player, most talented player on the team that's not a pitcher?
Wyatt Langford.
Wyatt Langford says, you know what? I need to ramp up a little bit more. Skip, can you give me a couple of weeks? No problem. We got you. They made a big trade for this guy named Nemo. He said, Skip, can you give me a little time? Let me stretch out a little bit. So you're not going to see him for a little while. But everybody else is fair play. You want to see some of the backups and see if they can add something to this roster. Got a couple of other, and by the way, like I said, the Rangers spring training, we are the home of Texas Rangers, and different guys on different shows, they'll be all headed out in the next couple of weeks. Got a couple other updates. We're the home of the Cowboys. Did you know, low key, last night, the Cowboys cut a veteran? Did you know that? You want to take a guess on who they low-key cut? This is not letting a free agent just go. This guy was not a free agent.
I know exactly who it is.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of hints for the totals out there. 877-881-1053. This guy only played 7 games, and fans were mad because his coordinator wouldn't start him most of the time, and the guy in front of him kept making stupid plays.
I'm actually shocked that he ended up playing 7 games. I thought he only played like 4 or 5.
Yeah, he played. He didn't start. We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying? He should have started all stuff. He was in certain situations. This guy is a veteran. He's not way too old or anything, but it's like, shoot, you could think it would help because he has knowledge. And like, nah, barely played. He was a trade that was made in the middle of the season. No, it's not Quentin Williams. They didn't stupid enough to cut him. 877-881-1053, waiting for the total to weigh in. Ding, 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 ding. Logan Wilson, the linebacker, is no longer a Dallas Cowboy. Don't know where he's going to go next. They got him from Cincinnati, and we thought, oh, good. He's not going to change the defense, but he can help organize it. Something like that. We got a text coming in from the 817 says, CA, my boy is ranked 47th in the country for JUCO baseball as a freshman. Plays at Eastfield and Mesquite. Driving there now for a doubleheader. Go Bees. Text back his name. We want to give him a shout out too. We know he's your boy, but say his name and we'll give him that shout out as well. I mentioned on the tees. Oh, I got one other thing before we get into the top of the hour. Mavericks lost last night, their 10th straight game. Cooper Flagg did not play in that game. Mavericks will play at Indiana tomorrow. We're going to talk some Maverick talk a little bit later next hour. This just in. Cooper Flagg is going on TV while he's in New York on Monday night. Guess whose late night show he'll be on?
Oh, man. So they're playing in Indiana?
They're playing Indiana Sunday. Tuesday, they're going to play Brooklyn.
Okay.
So
Is it Jimmy Kimmel?
Ding, ding, ding. No, Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, okay.
Jimmy Kimmel's on the West Coast. Ding,
yeah,
ding,
that's
ding,
right.
ding,
I get it mixed up.
There's a couple of Jimmys. Yeah, I understand.
I get it mixed up, yeah.
Listen, the Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's going to be with Jimmy Fallon in New York City on Monday night. Can't wait to see, because, he's kind of a quiet guy. He's got some personality, but it's not like he's, Mr. Personality, but major props to Cooper Flagg, because it just shows you how great he's been playing.
He's really good at the podium, too. So I think I'm excited to see what he has to say.
Let's see some of the games and stuff that Jimmy Kimmel plays with him. Let's see kind of their repartee and banner that they get to do. Hockey. Tomorrow morning is Team USA versus Team Canada. We got some Dallas Stars still with the opportunity to win gold. There's some Dallas Stars who won't be able to win gold. Bronze is the best they can do. Yeah, I'm talking about the Finnish Mafia. Finland got beat by Canada. They were up 3-0. This happened on Friday. You probably heard about this. And I mention this because the majority of the Stars' best players are from Finland. Their coach, their general manager basically for Finland, is a former Stars great, Jerry Lehtinen. He's number 26. If you go to the American Airlines Center, his sweater's just hanging from the rafters. They retired his number. Jerry Lettinen, Mikko Retinen, Roope Hintz, Esa Liddell, Miro Heiskanen, they are all going to be just sick to their stomachs because they let Canada come back. They had the game up 2-0. All they needed was one more goal. It would have been over with. There were a lot of people said they tried to F around him.
FOFA.
Yeah. They should have just been more aggressive at the end. And there were controversial plays in that third period. And Canada won it like in the last 30 seconds or whatever. It's like a damn shame for them. It's controversial, but, it could go either way. 6-7. Yeah, I threw that out there. I said it. 6-7 is so 2025. It's 4-1.
Man.
I keep up with all of that.
Maybe you think maybe it had to do with they got their foot off the gas maybe a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what a lot of people are saying. I mean, come on, man. They ruined the day. Meanwhile, Team USA had no problem. They had no problem with Team Slovakia. They beat them 6-2. And therefore, they're going to go for the gold medal tomorrow morning. I think Dallas time is going to be like 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Dallas time. And the Team USA guys who have a chance to win a gold medal. Let's see. Jake Ottinger, who he does not play. They have our great goalie. He hasn't even dressed out. He's just back up the last 3 games. They need to let him at least play or at least dress out just in case. Come on, man. It's not
Get him in there.
Get him in there some kind of way. He's on the team. He's going to get a gold medal. For Team Canada, Thomas Harley, Stars defenseman. He's got a chance to win gold. Jim Neal, the Stars general manager, he's one of the coaches for Canada. Back in the day, a few years ago, Jamie Benn was on Team Canada back in the day, won the gold medal. He was the captain of Team Canada. But what everybody's talking about is this Team USA versus Team Canada. Remember that the Big Four thing they had last year, and it came down to Team Canada versus Team USA, and Team Canada won it at the end. Everybody's saying this could be just as spectacular and just as strong. So looking forward to early morning hockey. What is it, like breakfast at Wimbledon? How about breakfast in Italy for the gold? And there you go. A little look at hockey. Coming up next, top of the hour, let's go here. The Cowboys will face 4 new head coaches next season, and there's other scheduled developments that you need to know about. And by the way, can you name how many head coaches for these NFL teams can you correctly name? You think you named 20? You think? We'll find out next on 105.3 The Fan.
Sean and RJ, the KNC Masterpiece, G-Bag Nation, and Fan After Dark. Live and local. Turn it on and leave it on. 105.3 The Fan and our Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later on your timeline. No showings, no double moves. Plus, Orchard helps you sell for more with repairs that attract the right buyers. Buy before you sell and get top dollar with Orchard. Visit Orchard.com for your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Here's to small businesses drifting apart from their tech. Get them together at Verizon Small Business Days.
February 9th to 22nd.
Get expert advice, personalized solution, and 3 little words.
Free 5G phone.
Book a tech check at Verizon.com/smallbusiness or call 1-800-483-4428. Verizon Business. Select 5G phones only. New line device payment agreement and MyBiz plan with $5 a month add-on spending required. Credit applied over up to 36 months. Terms apply. Ends 2/22/2026.
This is Ryan Watson, owner of Alliance Hyundai. During the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, we have over 600 vehicles in stock, like the all-new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and owner's assurance. Visit us at AllianceHyundai.net today.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Chick-fil-A's new frosted sodas and floats, it's a 10 out of 10. Hey, this is Lizzie, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You will love having your favorite soda blended with our creamy ice dream to make a new frosted soda or float. With the mix of the ice dream and soda fizz, it's so delicious, I call it Fizzalicious.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
This is the exclusive home of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth. Let's go, Cowboys.
An Odyssey sports station. Driven by our D&M Leasing Studios. Thanks for turning it on, leaving it on. 105.3 The Fan.
Woo-wee! This is 105.3 The Fan. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the Fan Phenom Eric Casarez. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great. And you know what? When you're doing those, I hope you hold it as long as 30 seconds sometimes.
Dude, don't dare me. I'm a certified scuba diver. I can hold my breath a long time, and I can hold that ooh-wee a long time. I've done it. In fact, I might do it again before the show's over. We've got Adam in the Pimp Cup. Adam, Fred has nicknamed you Black Adam. Why does he do that? Is that a character in a cartoon?
It's
Superhero?
a DC character.
Ah, yeah.
The
DC
Rock plays
Comics.
him, right? Yeah.
Yes. The Rock played him in that horrendously bad Black Adam
You know what's
movie.
funny? I saw that horrendously bad movie. I watched the first 20 minutes, and then I turned it off and left it off.
You turned off and left it off?
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't turn it on and leave it on for that one. I was the wrong reason to be a Tolo on that one.
Oh.
Evil Tolo.
It's okay. It's okay.
It was pretty rough.
Well,
it was a rough movie. I won't lie to you.
So he named you that. I'm trying to get the history of this nickname. You do not look like The Rock.
Yeah. How could you tell?
So I'm trying to. Why did he say he did? Just because he just thought of it?
Yeah. You know, he just thought of the nickname on the spot, and that's where it came from. I mean, whenever Reitmer questioned him about it, he pretty much said the same thing. Oh, well, I just thought of it.
I didn't question it. I mean, yesterday I was talking about how we were going to be on the show today. You were going to be in the Pimp Cup, and I said, hey, we're going to be on with Black Adam. I didn't even think about it. I just said it.
I mean, hey, fair enough. You're one of the only people that hasn't questioned the name.
It rolls. I mean, it rolls. If it rolls, it rolls.
It rolls, it rolls. And again, Black Adam in the Pimp. What's your full name?
My full name is Adam C.
It's Adam C. And
yes.
That's S-E-A-Y?
Yes.
Not Adam C like a capital C?
No.
Like Pimp C?
No, as much as some people think that's the case.
No, that's not it. Well, I tell you what, we're glad you're here and handling the ones and twos on the Pimp Cup. This is a beautiful Saturday. Midday, we'll be riding shotgun with you and you and you all the way till 2 o'clock when we will pass the ball, not in baseball, not in football, but in, did I say not in baseball? Not in basketball, not in football, but in baseball, because we are the home Texas Rangers. They've got a game, a spring game against the Chicago Cubs coming up at 2 o'clock. And after that, I think we got a hot stove show with Jared Sandler. So you got a little baseball for you right here on your home of the Cowboys, home of the Rangers, 105.3 The Fan. Speaking of home of the Cowboys, at 1 o'clock, keep it right here. Brian Broaddus will join us, and he's going to talk about everything combine and what the Cowboys need to do. Speaking of what they need to do, did you know a lot of people have already looked at the schedule for upcoming season? They've looked at the schedule and they're like, okay, what games will the Cowboys win? What games will the Cowboys lose? You know, team building is a sport and so is projection. And so they're like, okay, what kind of record should the Cowboys have depending upon what they do this offseason? Do they fix the defense? Got a new defensive coordinator now. Got some really nice young assistant coaches. Let's see if they're going to do anything in the draft. They're going to trade one of those picks. They're just really invested in what could happen this upcoming season. There's one thing you do know. You do know the teams that they're playing, and you do know they're going to play a game in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. Me and my family went to Rio this past July. It is the most beautiful place I've ever been in the world, and I've been all over the world.
Were you the one telling me that people say, like, they create that narrative that it's dangerous, but it's not as dangerous until you're there?
No, it's not dangerous. In fact, it's like this. This is Mardi Gras week in New Orleans, right? Mm-hmm. If you go to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, yeah, you have your head on a swivel because anything can happen. If you're down in Rio during Carnival, which is like a world spectacular festival like Mardi Gras, but it's the whole world is down there for Carnival. Well, yeah, you better have your head on a swivel. And they had the Olympics there. Well, you better have your head on a swivel because there's a lot of people who are drunk walking around and, you get pickpocketed. On the whole, it is not dangerous. It's no dangerous in any city in the world. It's not dangerous. Me and my family had a great time. Nothing bad happened. We didn't have to look around. The thing that we really enjoyed not only was it spectacularly beautiful, the weather was perfect. In summertime, the weather was perfect. When the Cowboys go, I don't know if it's going to be October or November. I doubt if it's going to be in September. The weather's going to be just a little bit warmer because it's south of the equator and everything is opposite, right? South of the equator. But it's close enough to the equator where it's kind of like Hawaii, where the weather is generally spectacular. And you're not going to see a lot of rain. It's just going to be beautiful. But more importantly, everything was very inexpensive. I could not believe how the dollar spent down there. It wasn't expensive at all. You can go a lot of different places in America, and you're paying way too much just to go out to eat or whatever. Down there, I mean, Ubers were cheap. I don't think we spent more than $5 anywhere we went on an Uber. Wow. The restaurants, everything was inexpensive. If you like Texas de Brazil, they got a lot of that. They got some restaurants like that there. Beef is one of the big industries there. A lot of great food down there. People were extremely friendly. Of course, you went up there to see the Christ the Redeemer, the statue. I mean, just know which days you want to go so you won't have a long line for tourist lines. It's the same thing anything in America. If you go on a certain day, it's going to be a line. But on the whole, Rio is spectacular. It's not the first time the NFL has gone to Brazil. They've been going to Sao Paulo. We also went to Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is the largest city in South America. It's bigger than New York City. So imagine New York City. A lot of buildings, same great prices and stuff, but not spectacularly beautiful like Rio. Rio's, your jaw just drops and go, oh my God. It's just gorgeous. It's fantastic. The beaches, the mountains, the scenery, it's spectacular. So the Cowboys are going there, and I would not be surprised if they put some junkets together, knowing that, because this is what they do. The Cowboys, whenever, on the regular season, they're going on road trips, they have Cowboys travel. And in fact, Mickey Spagnuolo will be the guest at the hotel lobby of the fans that travel, and he may be doing a little Cowboys one-on-one. They might have a player come down. You just never know. That's in the regular season on road trips right now. So they're going to put together some junkets for Rio.
Now, the only question is, who's that team going to be that they play?
Yeah, that's the question. And that trip, by the way, a lot of people were thinking, well, the NFL is going to Mexico City. They're going to go to Australia. They've gone to Germany before.
They went to Madrid.
They're going to, every year they're going to England, going to London, Wembley Stadium. So I want to say Wembley Stadium. I've been there for that. I've been to Tokyo a couple times with the Cowboys. They go everywhere. So everybody's thinking, the Cowboys are the most popular NFL team in Mexico. They're surely going to Aztec Stadium again. No, it's going to be some other team. Cowboys are going to Brazil. They're going to Rio. And ironically, I went to that stadium. My family and I, we went, my wife and kids, we went to that stadium to see a soccer game. That stadium in Rio is really, really nice.
Okay.
So it's it's going to be a lot of fun for Cowboy fans who go. I don't know who they're going to play there. The Cowboys will be the home team, though. And that stadium, I want to say, holds 70,000. It's not like, AT&T Stadium. It's more like Texas Stadium, the original Texas Stadium. It's got a hole in the roof. Or it's kind of like SoFi a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nice. Who do you think they might play over there?
Okay, so I was thinking
it's
maybe...
It's going to count as a home game.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a division home game.
Okay, maybe Jacksonville?
Could be, although Jacksonville likes to play in Europe.
Yeah, that is
they
true.
They usually have Jacksonville in London.
I mean, that's basically where they would go if they relocated, I feel like, is London. That's like their second home from home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are they playing the Raiders at all again? No? I'm trying to think big market teams here.
They are playing the Raiders.
Maybe the Raiders?
Maybe.
That could be some buzz in Brazil right there. Because I thought I remember them playing the Raiders. Because the Raiders would be the...
I say the Raiders. I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm seeing about this past season they play the Raiders.
Okay, they're not. I don't think they're playing the Raiders because they already played the NFC West, and they're not playing.
Right.
The Raiders didn't finish second in the division, so they wouldn't have been a second place out of conference game if that's what they were doing. Okay, from the 940, rumors are 49ers, Rams, and Aztec.
In Aztec. Okay, 49ers, Rams going to play in Mexico City. That's the rumor.
Okay, cool. All right. So not Jacksonville.
Let me tell you the away teams. The away teams, of course, Philadelphia, Washington, and New York Giants.
Yep.
The away games will also include the Texans, Houston Texans, the Green Bay Packers, Indianapolis Colts, Seattle Seahawks, and the Rams. So they're going to play the Seahawks in Seattle, defending Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Tank Lawrence and his revenge.
Okay, how about the home games? What do they have home games?
Home games, Eagles, Commanders, Giants for sure. They play Jacksonville at AT&T.
Okay, so it's not out of the question.
Tennessee, yeah, exactly. This will be a home game. So these want to be these. It's going to be one of these games. Either Jacksonville, Tennessee, Baltimore, Arizona, San Francisco, or Tampa Bay. I'm going to guess Arizona. That's just my guess. I could be completely wrong.
I don't see any of those games being like I mean. I like the Jackson Jaguars. I think that's a good spot for that game to be in Brazil.
They usually play in.
But yeah, but like you said, in Europe.
You make a point though. Since they are used to playing overseas, this overseas trip will be south of the border. And the seas that they're going over is the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, I don't. Well, so it's probably
not to be confused with going to Mexico where you don't go overseas.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if it's going to be the 49ers because the 49ers are already playing another game in. Mexico City? Are they going to play another?
They presume. Nobody knows for sure.
Yeah,
that's the guess. I mean, that's just the total guess.
I could see 49ers and Cowboys, that rivalry being in a different location.
I think last year in Sao Paulo, they had, it was the Eagles, and I want to say they played Green Bay. I could be wrong, but it seemed like
Green Bay and the Eagles was the opener in that, where was that at?
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, that's right. I've been there.
Sao Paulo, Brazil?
Wait, no. I'm thinking of San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Yeah. And San Juan's beautiful too. I've been there. You go to the fort?
Yes, I did. Yeah, the fort was amazing. It was beautiful. I did. I went at sunset too.
Oh yeah. I did too. That's beautiful. But here's the story. The Cowboys this year are going to face 4 teams that have new head coaches. Can you name the new head coaches that the Cowboys are going to face? I just gave you the teams that they're playing, home and away. And I'll give you a clue. All 4 of these new head coaches will play against the Cowboys at home.
Okay.
In other words, it's not the Cowboys going to their team. They're going to be coming to AT&T or Rio.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. All right. So obviously, let's get the obvious one out of the way.
Tolos, 877-881-1053.
We want to hear from you too.
Franklin, injury attorney text line. You can weigh in as well and guess. Oh, somebody just texted in 214 says he thinks the 49ers are playing in Australia and in Mexico. And they're not going to have them go 2 overseas.
No.
And let me tell you why. It has nothing to do with they're on the West Coast. It has to do with money.
Mm-hmm.
These owners don't want to give up games out of their own stadium. Because when you're going overseas, yeah, you're going to get some money per se, but you're not going to get that home field money. And that's one of the reasons why the Cowboys hadn't done any regular season. I think they've done 2 in the last 10 years. Regular season games out of the country. Because they used to do it all the time in the 80s and the 90s. I went on all those trips back then. But Jerry's like, nah, we already did it. Let's see.
We already got a first guess.
214 says the London Jaguars have a ring to it. So does the London Monarchs. So why do I say if it's in the British Empire, there's a lot of Jaguars in these jungles? I hear you. Okay. There's a total from the 214 that's guessing. One of these new head coaches is Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, yes, the New York Giants' new head coach. Name another one. You got 3 more.
Okay. So, Arizona has a new coach now because they fired Jonathan Gannon. Yeah.
Mike LaFleur in Arizona.
Yep.
2 more.
Okay. 2 more. So they're playing the Seahawks, no. Rams, no.
I would say one team is AFC, one team is...
actually, both. Robert Saleh, Tennessee.
Ding, 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 ding. The other one is also AFC.
Also AFC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they're not counting. So they're counting first-year head coach this year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
it's
not Liam Cohen because he's a second year now.
No, we're talking about not a new head coach never coached before.
Yeah.
We're talking about a new head coach for this team. For this team.
Okay.
This team has a new head coach.
Okay.
This team, I'll give you a hint. This team has a great running back who the Cowboys should have signed as a free agent.
Oh, I know who it is. Jesse Minter, Baltimore Ravens.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct, sir.
Yep.
Okay, so here's what's so wild. Last year, the Cowboys took on teams with new head coaches 3 times. The 3 new head coaches for the teams that they played last year, Ben Johnson at Chicago, Aaron Glenn with the Jets, and Pete Carroll with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
With all this coaching movement this year, I posed the question, how many head coaches in place, doesn't matter if they're new or old, can you name? If I name the team, can you name the coach?
I think I can.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Nick Sirianni.
Washington Commanders.
Dan Quinn.
New York Giants.
John Harbaugh.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Liam Cohen.
Tennessee Titans.
Robert Saleh.
Baltimore Ravens. You just said it?
Oh, Jesse Minter. Sorry. I was yeah.
Arizona Cardinals.
Michael LaFleur.
San Francisco 49ers.
Kyle Shanahan.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Todd Bowles.
Philadelphia Eagles. No, Todd Bowles is in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
They brought him back, yeah.
That's right.
They brought him back. They should have fired him.
They should have fired him.
They should have, yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles.
So Nick Sirianni said that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Green Bay Packers.
Matt LaFleur, the other one.
Houston Texans.
Oh, D'Amico Ryan's one of the best.
Mm-hmm. Indianapolis Colts.
Shane Steichen.
Seattle Seahawks.
Mike McDonald.
He came from somewhere back in a long
Which they call him the defensive Sean McVay.
Yes, he is. First defensive-minded head coach to win a Super Bowl in umpteen years, by the way. Rams.
McVay. Sean McVay.
Detroit Lions.
Dan Campbell.
You're pretty good at this. I'm going to give you a pass on the rest of them because I think you know your stuff.
I got them. Okay.
I think you know
I
your
passed
stuff.
the test.
And we got some more stuff to get into. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. They lost last night and how the NBA is going to address the tanking. Adam Silver says he's got a plan, and Charles Barkley weighed in last night as well. That's next on 105.3 The Fan.
Tolo means turn it on and leave it on. Thank you for making 105.3 The Fan and the Odyssey app part of your day every day.
This is Ryan Watson, owner of Alliance Hyundai. During the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, we have over 600 vehicles in stock, like the all-new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and owner's assurance. Visit us at alliancehyundai.net today.
Good news. Frontier is joining Verizon. That's right. America's best mobile network and Frontier's lightning-fast fiber internet are coming together. So whether at home, on the go, or running a business, you'll have the connection you can count on to get more done. And for a limited time, switch and bundle both plans to get our best offer. Frontier and Verizon. Better together. Visit Verizon.com/Welcome Frontier to learn more. Based on Root Metrics U.S. Root Score Report second half 2025. Not an endorsement. All rights reserved. The results may vary. Service availability varies. Terms apply.
Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog's the best place to get in on all of the action because you can make picks and win money right now in Texas, or else this whole exercise would feel kind of rude. And playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Now, we had been on a heater with Cooper Flagg, but since he is a little banged up, let's shift our perspective to Victor Wembanyama. Go with the points, rebounds, assists, combos, and go higher on that. And that is the key, I think, to get some of your cashes going. Download the app today. Use a promo code MASTERPIECE to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code MASTERPIECE. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or over. Present in Texas. Terms apply. See ads@underdogfantasy.com/web/playing /DFS_.html for details. Concerned with play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit ncpgambling.org.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Sean and RJ here with the official coffee of the morning show. It is Just Love Coffee. The coffee is great. It's been up for Roaster of the Year. The food is fantastic. The mission has always been constant. It's about bringing families together. 2 locations, Arlington and Grand Prairie.
Just Love Coffee and Cafe, the official coffee of the morning show, and 105.3 The Fan, built on love, legacy, and community. Because sometimes the best conversations start with a cup of coffee. It's Just Love Coffee. Tell them Sean and RJ sent you.
A paint job cannot be financed, but Rhino Shield can. It's Gary with Rhino Shield of DFW. With our ceramic coating and 25-year transferable warranty, you'll never worry about cracking, chipping, or peeling paint again. Rhino Shield also helps insulate your home and can lower your energy bills. And with our easy financing, payments can be under $200 a month.
Right now, take 15% off. So call now. Schedule
Schedule your free estimate at 844-744-6628 or visit rhinoshielddfw.com. Protect your home for decades to come. Don't paint your house, shield it.
Call Franco first, 214-817-333-333. With Franco and Franco, there is never out-of-a-pocket cost. They only get paid when you win. Franco and Franco, the go-to car and truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
Nice job, Eric. Filling in for Adam on the ones and twos in the Pimp Cup with that read. This is 105 The Fan, your home of the Cowboys, home of the Rangers. I'm Chris Arnold along with Eric Casarez, and we are holding it down for you all the way till 2 o'clock this afternoon. It is beautiful weather in North Texas. Today is spectacular. It's not going to be as warm as it was on Friday. Friday was like perfect. I think the high was like 78. Today's high is going to be 63. A little bit of a breeze, not that much. Great day to be outside, and we can't thank you, Tolos, enough for letting us ride shotgun with you while you do what you do, wherever you go, whatever you're doing. Whether it's in the state of Texas, outside the state, listening to us on the Odyssey app, watching us on YouTube or Twitch, we can't thank you enough. That being said, coming up next, I think I'll give you a CA Stories Confidential. And this CA Stories Confidential, some of the craziest things I've ever been a witness to in boxing matches. We're talking about championship fights. And I'm saying this because people may not have heard this or not, but Floyd Mayweather Jr. says he's coming out of retirement after this exhibition with Mike Tyson next month in Africa.
Money talks.
And I'm like, what? His nickname is Money, and he's talking, and he's going to make lots of money. He's not broke to broke. Floyd got way too much money. But I'm like, he must be bored out of his mind.
He must be.
And he's looking at those Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and like, shoot, they're not even real fighters, and they're making money. So
because didn't Logan Paul box Floyd, right, in an exhibition match?
Yeah, it was a little exhibition.
Yeah.
They just touch gloves, basically, because, nobody can touch Floyd. Floyd, his movement. In fact, that's why a lot of people got tired of watching his fights, because nobody could ever hit him.
Yeah.
But that's coming up on CA Stories Confidential. Coming up right now, Dallas Mavericks were in action last night. First game out of the All-Star break, and they were without Cooper Flagg. Let me say this again. Cooper Flagg is going to be on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon Monday night. 2 nights from tonight. Mavericks are playing at Indiana tomorrow. They have the night off in New York. He's going to be doing Jimmy Fallon, and then they play Brooklyn, the Nets, on Tuesday. But the Mavericks lose at Minnesota, and the Mavericks have lost 10 straight games. The thing that surprised me, and I was watching the game in the background, I was doing some emails and doing some stuff online, and I had the game on in the background. I look up, and lo and behold, this game was tied with 6.5 minutes left to play. 103 to 103, Klay Thompson this shot. And it just goes to show the Mavericks start the season number one in clutch games. For those who don't know, that's if you're within 5 points with 5 minutes left to play. And Cooper Flagg is one of the most clutch game players in the league. In other words, he's in the game. He's involved with the plays at the end, whether he makes the winning shot or misses the winning shot. He's there at the end. So he's always there learning and getting better. As you know, he's never not been Rookie of the Month. With all that being said, where are the Mavericks? And as you know, at the trade deadline, there are guys on this roster you have never seen them play in the American Airlines Center because they made the trade and immediately they were on the road. And then there was the All-Star break, and now they're not going to be back until this coming Thursday. This Thursday is the first time some of these players like Chris Middleton, Bagley,
A.J. Johnson.
The point guard, Jones.
Oh, Tyus Jones, yeah.
Tyus Jones, this guy, he's been in the league 10 years. He's all-time plus-minus. He never turns the ball over. He just all-time plus-minus. So there's guys you have not even seen play in Dallas. So where I'm going with this is the Dallas Mavericks are looking at the roster because, as you know, when they made the trade Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards, they created, let me use the French word, beaucoup. They created beaucoup cap space because they got expiring contracts. In other words, you can decide in May if you want to keep somebody. Contracts off the book. Chris Middleton, for example. Solid player, a little older. Played with Jason Kidd when Jason Kidd was the coach in Milwaukee. Helped Giannis win that title a couple of years ago. Does he fit with A&M, by the way, your school?
Oh, yeah, gig him.
But does he fit? If he doesn't fit, $33 million off the books. You got all kinds of cap space for this summer to do all kinds of things if you want. And you also have the opportunity to still be in the lottery because you're actually looking at players, which is a legitimate excuse. You can't say, oh, they're just tanking. And notice I bring up the clutch games. I bring this up because most of these teams that are tanking on purpose, they're not having clutch games. They're getting blown out every night. And no fan wants to see that.
Yeah, no, and no fans wants to see it because the fact that
you're paying money.
Yeah, you're paying money, but here's the thing.
And you want to see the stars play.
Yes, you want to see the stars.
And you want to be not playing for a legitimate reason. Like Cooper Flagg, he's overcoming this foot injury, this mid-foot thing. He was in a boot, and they're bringing him back at a regular pace or a slow pace or whatever, but he's legitimately hurt.
Do you really think these players want to lose too? They don't want to.
No, they don't. No. But there's some teams, seriously, they're just there for the paycheck. We had a guy named Christian Wood on this team a couple of years ago, and I can't even tell you how many Tolos and Maverick fans were calling me up during his season. JCK won't play him. He's blackballing him. He's a walking bucket. That man can score 20 points a night. But he played zero defense, which means in the playoffs, what teams do in a 7-game series, they call it barbecue chicken time. The player that cannot play defense, they put them in a pick-and-roll blender, get them in foul trouble, and that 20 points you've been counting on is sitting on the bench. And Jason Kidd's like, no, I'm not going to play him if he's not even trying.
Yeah.
And his problem was he picked up bad habits in Detroit and in Houston where he shrugged his shoulders. Not a bad person, but, he wasn't a competitor at all. And so there are people to this day, I don't know why they would let him go. Where is he now? All you Christian Wood fans, where is he now? You've got to want to try. You've got to want to compete. And this guy, Christian Wood, nice guy walking around, but there was assistant coaches trying to show him where to be on defense when they were playing all these different zones. So back to players wanting to win. There's guys who want to win. There's guys who want to have their contracts extended. There are guys who want to make another contract. There's guys. The Mavericks roster has two-way players and stuff like that, D-League contracts, G-League contracts, rather. They got guys who want to compete. And you have to give credit to Jason Kidd and the coaching staff for getting the most out of these guys. Because this happened last year. They were down to 8 players lots of times, and all these games are going down to the wire. I bet you cannot say the last team the Mavericks beat back in January, because they've lost 10 in a row. I'll give you a hint. They play on the West Coast.
Was it seriously that Knicks game?
No, play on the West Coast.
Oh, West Coast. Well, because I remember that was the big win that they had.
They got a player who likes to chew his mouthpiece, who's a legend.
The Warriors was their last win. Really?
Exactly.
That feels like a minute ago.
Yeah, that was right after Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler got hurt like a couple of days earlier. Out for the season.
Yeah.
So back to this tanking thing. I don't think Maverick fans should worry about the Mavericks getting fined by Adam Silver. Adam Silver fined Indiana. He fined Utah for it was egregious the way they were tanking. And they fined him like $50,000, $100,000, whatever it was, $250,000, because they wanted to set the example. You could be fined next. We're not going to just have this.
Yep.
And then during the All-Star break, I think Shams just reported a couple of days ago, Shams Charania, that Adam Silver says we're going to address this seriously this summer.
Yeah, no, and he did. And the fact that regardless of what we think about tanking CA, Adam Silver is making his opinion known as he informed the league on Thursday, 30 general managers, that the NBA plans to make an anti-taking rule change for next season. So this is what we're looking at from Shams. This is what he tweeted. First-round picks can be protected, only top 4 or top 14 plus.
Slow down. I like the way that sounds. Say that again.
The first one?
Yes.
First round pick.
Take your time. People got to marinate on this.
Oh, yeah. First round picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14 plus.
And the reason I like this is because there's a lot of these picks that are protected. And first round. Oh, they're protected against, whatever. If they're top 2 pick or they're not protected. Or there's all these qualifiers. And in a way, when he say plus 14, that means if you're in a position to compete, that pick should not be protected.
Yes.
In other words, if you're going to be in the play-in or something, it's not protected. If you totally suck, well, yeah, it's protected.
Yeah, if you're the 4 worst teams, you should have that protected.
Go ahead.
Next one. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or later date. That one's interesting.
I like that too. In other words, wherever you are in the lottery at the trade deadline, that's where your pick's going to be.
So you can't blow it up and get worse and get your odds. Your odds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no reason for you to try to tank if you're frozen at the trade deadline. Your position.
So far, we're
in the lottery.
So far, we're seeing the vision here. We like these.
Go ahead.
No longer allowing a team to pick in the top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. So basically, they don't want you to blatantly take if you're a bottom 3 team, but also if you already got a top 4 pick like the Mavs, then we wouldn't be able to get another number 1 pick again.
Next.
Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making a conference finals. So OKC, you ain't getting that Clippers pick.
You can't load.
Yeah.
You can't load up. If you make it to the conference finals, no.
Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records.
Okay, that's interesting because it's not like, oh, you're tanking this one season. It's like, how bad have you been for the last couple of years? You might actually are that bad.
Yeah. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams no, that's the last one. Okay, yeah, lottery extended to include all the play-in teams.
In other words, you can make the play-in, but you still have a chance to be in the lottery. Last year, the Mavericks made the play-in, but they lost, and because they lost that first game in the play-in, they still wound up in the lottery.
I think they lost the second game.
Second one against Memphis. They beat King. They beat the Kings.
Yeah, they blew out the Kings. And then they got blown out by Memphis. Yep.
Got it. Okay, I like that. I also like something that Charles Barkley said last night on the ESPN/TNT show. They were talking about tanking, and you got that read for me, Adam. Here's Charles Barkley talking about what he would do to curb the tanking.
Always been part of the NBA. Let's get that out the way.
Sports.
It's sports. I agree with you, Kenny. We've got to come up with some type of solution because it's not fair to the game, first and foremost. It's not fair to your fan base. I've always suggested this rule. I don't think any NBA team should be able to raise their ticket prices if they're below 500. I've always said that. You cannot raise your ticket prices if your team is below 500. I think they should make that a rule in every sport, to be honest with you.
That'd be interesting, Chuckster. That'd be some incentive.
It'd be, but not even if you're still trying to tank, you can't raise your ticket prices because then you're getting your cake and eat it too. Which I'm for getting your cake and eating it too.
Yes.
But you should not be able to try to lose. So I've said there's 2 things. Number one. Every team in the lottery should get 1 ping pong ball. They shouldn't give you more balls.
So everybody, and that came out the other day too. Hey, maybe we're thinking about everybody's on the same level playing field.
Because the team that had the worst record, I think, has only got the number 1 pick like 2 out of 25 years. So give everybody 1 ping pong ball.
If you don't make the playoffs.
But also, this is another one. If you trade a pick, it's gone. Because now teams are they can manipulate. But, well, if it falls in the top 3 or 4 or top 7 protected. No. Everybody gets 1 ping pong ball who's in the lottery. So
I would agree with that because there is.
But what about the other one, too?
No, I think because what you're saying, like, I look at the Indiana Pacers.
I liked what he was saying, and I especially like the 1 ping pong ball thing, and the price is staying the same. The other thing I wanted to bring up, and Tolo texted in from 972, says, I feel like the Sixers invented the process of the tank, and I'm agreeing with that because I remember when the Joel Embiid, all these drafts, they were building a team by trying not to win, and I brought up Christian Wood in particular. Outside of Tyrese Maxey, South Garland's own, who got there afterwards, that team doesn't try. I don't care who the head coach is. That team, I'm talking about the Sixers.
Yeah.
That mentality of flip it on, turn it on and off, they don't try. And by the way, for those who don't know, the load management, you know who invented load management? I'm asking you.
Kawhi Leonard?
No. His coach, Popovich. And it wasn't Kawhi who was the first one that Popovich was load managing. He was load managing Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, different guys, Tony Parker, because he didn't want them playing back-to-backs because they were older. And it caught him. I think they got fined for this. They were playing a game against Miami on national TV in Miami, and he had those guys sitting on the bench because he wanted them to be available in San Antonio for another game. Popovich. And I love Pop, but he's the one. And he even called it load management because they're like, Pop, these guys aren't hurt. No, we're load managing. We're managing the load, how much they have to, the wear and tear. And then, of course, when Kawhi got hurt, from the time he got hurt and was working that knee, and when he wasn't playing and the knee was healthy, well, we're load managing. San Antonio Spurs. And someone texted in and said, I wish Rick Carlisle was still our coach. Realize this, the Mavericks are taking on Rick Carlisle and the Pacers tomorrow. Pacers have already been fined for tanking. Mm-hmm. I wonder who wants to win this game. Wonder who's going to play tomorrow in the game. You play. No, you play. You play. No. Spider-Man me. Yo, you play. You play. Yeah. All right, coming up next, I think I'll do a CA Stories Confidential. I mentioned about Floyd Mayweather say he's coming out of retirement. I got some crazy boxing stories to throw at you next on 105.3 The Fan.
50 years in the Lone Star State, a one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know
which way to Specs.
Come on, let's go.
Specs Wine Spirits and Finer Foods. World-class service, that's all about you.
Shout Specs, it's how we do. A huge selection since 62. Shout Specs, low priced, amazing. Here's to you. Shout. Cheers to savings.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Thanks, Dax. Maybe leave the singing to the pros.
Hey, I can't help it. I love these windows.
Well, it's easy to sing about savings. Get 10 double-pane single-hung windows for just $59.50.
And 0 down and 0% financing with approved credit.
Exactly.
So call Best Buy Windows and Siding today at 469 Windows. That's Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Close enough, buddy.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the Year of the Horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Celebrate the Lunar New Year with flavor that runs wild.
out there and surprise. A lot of the shows we headed out to Surprise, Arizona, keep up with them as well, because we're home of the Rangers, also home of the Cowboys. Brian Broaddus is going to join us from G-Bag Nation. 1 o'clock this afternoon. Get ready to talk some combine, a little NFL football, Dallas Cowboys, whole 9 yards. It is almost noon, and I think maybe I should do some CA Stories Confidential. Why, thank you, Adam. And I was thank Eric, thank all the Tolos for allowing me to share some of these stories of all these years. Fun career, wonderful life. And I've been covering stuff in the world of sports in Dallas-Fort Worth since 1980. And since there's a lot of boxing talk today, I figured I'd tell you a boxing story from back in the day. We were talking about, Floyd Mayweather Jr. says he's going to come out of retirement. He hadn't fought since like 2017. He was 50-0. He was always protecting the O. I've covered a number of Floyd's fights, including the Floyd fight in Vegas against Pacquiao, where Pacquiao went into that fight with a bad shoulder. I was like, this might be Floyd's, but nobody knew about the shoulder. He didn't win. And Floyd is always good at picking out the correct opponent to make sure he protects that O. I don't know why he's coming out of retirement. Some people say, hey, because his nickname is Money Mayweather. It must be no money. No, Floyd got crazy money. I cannot imagine him not having any money. I think he's doing it because of his ego. He wants to stay in the limelight, even though he's done some exhibitions over the years. And he's doing an exhibition next month in Africa. They're putting it on. I guess he figured, I said next month in Africa. He's going against Mike Tyson. They don't even weigh the same. It makes no sense whatsoever that it's not even real. But, they're going to put it out on the internet. People are going to buy it, credit card swipe, and he makes some more money off of that. And Tyson, he might need some money, but I don't know. All I know is I just shake my head. It's like, this makes no sense at all. And I've covered a whole lot of big fights over the years. Seriously. So many. I've covered, let's see, I even saw a fight Floyd fought in Madison Square Garden. So I've covered fights in Madison Square Garden, Las Vegas, American Airlines Center, down in San Antonio, Los Angeles, Miami. I've covered so many fights. They put me in the Texas Boxing Hall of Fame under the special contributors sex category, and I appreciate that so much because I've seen about it all. I've seen Muhammad Ali fight. I've seen Larry Holmes fight. I've gone out to eat with these guys. I've hung out with them. I know all about the boxing. And by the way, there is a fight tonight in Las Vegas. Ryan Garcia, who I think he's lost his damn mind because he's just saying the craziest things out of the ring over and over again. He's going to fight Mario Barrios. Barrios fought Manny Pacquiao to a draw for no reason. I'm like, what is going on? I'm telling you, people want to see fights, whether it's boxing or MMA. They just want to see some fights. So they're fighting. Also, shout out to my buddy Andre Johnson out of Arlington. He's fighting in a card in Detroit on Sunday. So if you like boxing, check it out. But here's a fight story. I got to tell the story that kind of got me covering big fights. When I was a kid, my daddy would take me to the barbershop, and everybody's watching Wide World of Sports or they're watching a fight. It's kind of like the Eddie Murphy movie Coming to America. That boy good. So that's why I started liking sports. I wasn't like big into football or basketball or baseball. Back then, I was just like watching Wide World of Sports. Speaking of the Olympics, Lindsey Vonn, Thrill of Victory, Agony of Defeat. They had to show the agony of defeat and somebody wiping out doing a ski jump. Boom, boom, boom. But they'd always show the fights, and they showed Muhammad Ali fighting. So I was like, ooh, wow, Muhammad Ali. My favorite athlete of all time is martial artist Bruce Lee. That's my favorite athlete. Who's your favorite athlete? Is it Michael Jordan? Is it, Troy Aikman?
Bo Jackson?
But I would say Bruce Lee. That's my guy. But boxing, I was always drawn to boxing. So when I got hired at K104 back in 1980 to do sports, and I was already had a little sports background in college, though. You got my degree in journalism at OU. I was on the radio in high school and in college. I was covering sports here in Dallas. They said, we're going to let you cover, the Mavericks, the Rangers, the Cowboys, SMU, TCU, UTA, North Texas, high schools, all of that. So I just dove in and I was covering all that stuff. And I was also talking about the national things, and I was doing interviews over the phone with the quarterbacks on Monday Night Football from their hotel room. I just was genius enough to say, you know what, I'm going to call them up. They're just sitting around a hotel hours before the game. And I would do the interviews and put it on the air. And then I really wanted to cover a big fight. And that fight that was coming out in 1981 was Tommy Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard in Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. And I wanted to cover that fight, and I was able to get credentials to that fight. And by the way, over the years, I've covered 28 Super Bowls, 22 NBA Finals, 21 NBA All-Star Games, 16 Final Fours, 8 World Series, 8 Baseball All-Star Games, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 Stanley Cup Finals, the Olympics, the World Cup, Cowboys home and road games on the charter, Mavericks home and road game on the charter for years. Cowboys wrote the charter for the Cowboys like 20 years. Mavericks charter for like 8 years. So I'm covering all these things because of this one particular fight. I wanted to cover the Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard fight. And I got the credential, or at least I thought I had the credential. I had the connection with the PR people over there, and I was good to go, ringside. And K104 said, no, we can't send you. I said, why not? I got the credential, and here I got the flights. I found some good flights. And nah, it's not in the budget. That was the week before the fight, 2 weeks before the fight. 2 days before the fight. Fight was going to be on a Saturday night at Caesars Palace. That Thursday, they said, guess what? You can go to the fight. You can cover the fight. I said, I don't have a credential. They said, we're going to do round by round updates. We got Coca-Cola to sponsor you. I'm like, what? I don't have a credential. You'll figure it out. I called over to Caesars Palace, the PR people with the boxing. I said, hey, they're going to send me. They said, we don't, your seats are taken. This is sold out. The media from all over the world covering this fight. I said, okay. And they said, Chris, we've already sold it round by round. Your updates from Las Vegas. You figured out. I said, let me see if I can even find a room. All the hotels sold out. Mm-hmm. They said, you'll figure it out. They put me on an overnight flight that night, that Thursday night, to Las Vegas. I did an update Friday morning on the morning show with Tom Joyner. And I found a no-tell motel behind the MGM. And that's where I was staying, a little seedy hotel right off the strip. And I walked over to Caesars Palace. I walked about a mile, and this was that afternoon. No credential. I went in there and I said, hey, remember me? I asked for the main guy. And he said, they sent you anyway? I said, yeah. And I was in this big tent because they were having this fight on the tennis courts outside of Caesars Palace, right there in the Caesars Palace tennis court. They built the stands around it and all these celebrities coming to it. And I was there like that afternoon. And there was a couple of people there covering the fight that covered the fight in Dallas or did big stuff in Dallas as sports writers. Skip Bayless was one of them. There was a couple other people there. And they knew me from Cowboy games, whatever, that first year. And they said, hey, you're here? I said, yeah. So they said, the PR guys, sit in the corner right here. We'll see if we can do something. We'll see if somebody doesn't show up. So I'm sitting there all day in this press room. Well, I'm waiting and waiting. The fight's going on, the preliminary fights are going on. I'm sitting there just waiting and waiting, and I got to do updates on the phone. There's no internet. There's a bank of phones in that tent, that press room. All of a sudden, it's time for the fight. All the different writers and different broadcasters, they go into the arena, go into the ring to sit ringside. And I'm sitting there, and that PR guy is nowhere to be found. He wasn't around for the last 2 hours. He's doing his job. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? There's a security guy that was, you show your credential, walk through. I said, hey man, you've been seeing me all day here. You know I'm legit. I'm supposed to be doing updates. I need to go in there. And he goes, I can't help you. So I pull out a $20 bill because K104 gave me cash. And he said, I didn't see this. And I walked in and I'm down low, found an empty seat. And I come back to do an update. And then when it's time to go back out there, he said, who are you again? I handed him another 20. So I'm going back and forth doing these updates, giving him a $20 bill. And after the fight's over with, I'm in the press room, got the interviews, one-on-ones, not just to ask the questions from the podium. I stand to the side, I talk to Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns on the side. Got those interviews. I come back, and K104, the manager's like, how the hell did you do that? And I tell them the story, and they say, you're good to go. Anything you want to cover because you get the job done. And that's how they let me start covering everything in the world of sports because I got it done. And it started with that fight and a bunch of 20s in my pocket. And that's your CA Stories Confidential. Wow. Coming up next, is that crazy?
I love it.
That's how it all started in 1981. Coming up next, we got to talk about the headlines going on in the world of sports today and some college basketball matchups. And SMU big money has come in on the NIL. They have come through on NIL money. That's next on 105.3 The Fan.
The more time you give, the more our crush grows. Together we continue to build something special. Keep turning it on and leaving it on 105.3 The Fan and the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Texans enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to get Texas-sized savings. Kroger, Texas proud since 1955. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Select 12-pack cans of Coca-Cola, 6-pack bottles of Pepsi, or 18 packs of Gatorade, or buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, Texas proud since 1955.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la.
You dare me. There you go.
I should have timed it. Dang it. It was too late.
Chris Arnold, Eric Casarez, he is your fan phenom. And Black Adam in the Pimp Cup. He dared me. For those who don't know.
To be fair, that was at least 30 seconds.
Eric said, "I bet. How long can you do an ooey?" I said, I'm a certified scuba diver. I can hold my breath.
And at the top of the hour, how about it?
Yeah, on a Saturday. We're here all the way till 2 o'clock. Appreciate y'all bearing with me. No, that was not a tornado alert. Not a cloud in the sky. It's a beautiful day, and we can't thank you guys enough. All the Tolos out there for letting us ride shotgun with you and do why you do what you do on a Saturday. Whether it's indoors or outdoors, the weather's going to be fantastic outside if you get a chance to get out and about. 63 degrees. It's February 21st. That don't make no sense, but enjoy this while you can. The weather's going to be nice all week long. That's what they say. That's what they say, and you know if you live in North Texas, it could change in a drop of a dime. We're so glad you're here with us because, again, at 2 o'clock, we're going to turn it over to the Rangers. Rangers out in Surprise, Arizona spring training. They will play their second game in Cactus League play. They're going to take on the Chicago Cubs. They played yesterday. I'm not going to give you any scores because it don't matter.
Don't matter.
They're working on some things. Pitchers are working on some things. Hitters working on some things. And coaches and managers, Skip, he's just checking things out. 682-11. Turn on the radio and thought it was a broadcast check. 214 says, I was waiting for the weather warning. Another one said, I thought that was LaGrande.
Do we have the fan cam on?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Adam, can you talk? Do we have the fan cam on?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so
I got y'all on.
Okay.
The reason I said it is because Adam and I were throwing the twirls around with our fingers. Keep
going.
Someone said it was at least 20 seconds. Oh, it was longer than that.
903 says, damn, that was the best we ever heard. Another one says, make that an Olympic sport. Love it. Got y'all down. Appreciate that. How was that possible? Like I said, I'm a certified scuba diver. When you get your license, you got to be able to hold your breath. You got to be able to survive. You got to know how to do those things. So I'm real good at that.
CA should stand for Certified Animal.
Beast mode. Speaking of being a beast, in 1 hour, don't miss the beast himself, Brian Broaddus. I say he's a beast because 24/7, he can talk some football. He's available. He's going to join us at 1 o'clock. G-Bag Nation, former Super Bowl winning scout with the Green Bay Packers, of course, longtime Dallas Cowboys official. And he was also in that front office and ran the draft for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day. He's got some stories. Combine is coming up. We're going to get into that as well. I got to get into this. I mentioned the Rangers. Oh, yeah, the Cowboys Combine coming up. Cowboys, if you haven't heard, they cut a veteran last night. No, they didn't let a free agent walk. They actually cut him. He was going to be on the roster. And the guy they cut was linebacker Logan Wilson. He was here for a cup of coffee because Eberflus wouldn't play him. And it wasn't like Logan Wilson didn't do anything or he played 7 games. He didn't really start. Maybe he started 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But he cut him the Cowboys cut him because, I don't know, cap space. A little bit more cap space. We're going to get into Cowboys cap space a little bit later in the show as well. Coming up next segment, we're going to talk about how much cap space the Cowboys really have. And if you listen to me on the radio for the last 10 years, you know what I think about cap space. And I do respect people who love to team build because team building is a sport. But cap space is fungible. It's like taxes. If you got a great CPA, you ain't paying taxes.
No.
Or you're not paying a lot of taxes. And that's the way the cap is. Don't ever say, well, you got to pay at the end. Now when it keeps going up. To live in this town, you must be tough. That's the Mick Jagger song, for those who don't know. Shattered Shadube. That's the song.
You got the moves like Jagger, Chris?
That's the Maroon 5. That's Adam. I tell you, people are still
you got them going, man.
About the ooh-wee. CA scared me, man. I thought something was wrong with my car when you were doing the ooh-wee. I'm like, that's good stuff. Damn, CA, I'm a trucker. I thought that ooh-wee was going to take me all the way to home. That's from Scott and Ennis. Appreciate that. Let's see, 903 says, I'm a professionally trained singer, and that was impressive, man.
That's professional singer giving you credit. How about that?
I appreciate that. 682 says, CA scared me, man. I thought something was wrong with my car. Another. I didn't even realize Logan Wilson wasn't even a game. Shake my ass from Kenton in Athens.
Well, it felt like that because he didn't even get in that time. Yeah.
What was so crazy is the linebacker in front of him, who was out of position, was always, that's not his middle linebacker. That's not normally his position. He was always making a mistake.
Kenneth Murray?
Kenneth Murray.
Yeah.
Kenneth Murray.
He's the guy everybody was mad at, even though he's a nice guy. It's like, it's not his fault that Eberflus made him the middle linebacker, and he was always doing something wrong.
And that's what shocked me, too, because when we originally traded that 7th round, but I think it was a 7th round pick for Logan Wilson, I was like, it's low risk, high reward.
Exactly.
And
he never played him.
He never played him because everybody was saying, oh, well, there's a reason. He was a DNP at the end of the season for the Bengals, or at the end of his tenure with the Bengals. And everyone's like, how's he going to help the Cowboys? It's like, well, it's not even about that. I mean, can he be any worse than Shamar James and Kenneth Murray?
Exactly.
Like, just play him. And they never played him.
They never played him. In hockey, Team USA taking on Canada tomorrow morning. People are wondering, am I going to watch some hockey today? What I need to, I don't really care about the Olympics, but I want to know about the hockey. The hockey will be Team USA versus Canada, just like the women's team beat Canada. Team USA women got their gold medal. They beat Canada. This is a rematch of the Big Four. They had that Big Four thing, and Canada beat the USA. It was last year around this time. All eyes. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We already had a youth minister text in, Tolo. He said, 7 a.m.? I gotta go to church. I got Sunday school. I understand. Tape it. And don't be mad if somebody gives you the result. Or don't be mad if there's low attendance. just
don't
understand.
Be surprised.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. And say some prayers for your Team USA. And there are stars. There's some stars going for the gold. We talked about this a little early. Ottinger. I don't know if they're going to dress him out. He hadn't dressed out yet. And Hurley, he's going to be playing for Canada. See if he gets a goal. One of those guys is going to go. The Finnish Mafia that plays for the Stars, the heavy lifters, those boys going to try to get the bronze. They had their opportunity. They lost 3-2 to Canada. I feel bad for them because they really want to get that. I wanted it to be Finland versus the USA and then Stars fans to have mixed emotion.
Yeah.
Miko or Otter.
Yeah.
USA,
it's a good problem to have.
Or Finland. Yeah, they kind of messed that up. They tried to sit on a lead. That's what a lot of people are saying. They shouldn't have sat on that lead.
Nope.
In college basketball, the top 4 teams in the polls will play each other. This is kind of like having a Final Four in February before they even have the conference championship tournaments. You've got Arizona taking on Houston in the Big 12. Those are 2 of the top 4. And you also have Michigan taking on Duke, Cooper Flagg's team. This is all today. And I don't think these games are being played at the same time, but look at your schedule and you can check them out. Adam, you can look that up for me if you get a chance, what time these games tip off. But be aware, this is kind of like a hopeful preview of the Final Four. You don't know because you don't know if they're going to make it, but you also don't know if they're all going to be in the same regionals or not. You have no idea at this point. But this is where you got those scheduled?
Arizona Houston will be at 2, and the other game, Michigan Duke, will be at 5:30.
Back to back, just like it was a Final Four.
And here's another good one right here: Iowa State and BYU. Big 12 matchup right there.
Yeah, buddy.
DeBansta.
Yeah, buddy. Did you hear the bad news about Texas Tech?
JT Toppin?
Yeah,
that was brutal.
Out for the season. He's their All-American. He was one of the guys that they were saying he's Player of the Year.
I need to send my condolences to Jacob Ray because I know he wasn't. I know he's not happy about that one.
Yeah, Texas Tech always has good athletes in their programs this year. I say that because you know about the women's softball team. You know about the football team. You know about their billionaire, the old guy, Cody. He's in his 40s. He's a billionaire. He went to Texas Tech, played offensive lineman. His business is over there in Fort Worth. And he's like making sure Tech is relevant with the NIL. Well, you know, they're not in the same conference. But all these schools got to have that NIL working. And since, you know, you ran track down there at Texas A&M, you already know about your oil money down there. The power brokers down there at A&M, the Aggies, making sure they paid off the guys that they didn't want no more when they had Who's that football coach they paid off that $76 million?
Jimbo Fisher?
Jimbo Fisher.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You got to have some money to pay off these coaches. That's LSU. You got to. If you want to get a new one, you got to also pay off. Well, when SMU, I'm bringing up SMU because they're in the news. When SMU joined the ACC and immediately hit the ground being competitive in the different sports, not only did they say, oh, we don't need to share in the TV money right off the bat. Oh, yeah, we can pay the fee to get in because they got billionaires over here. They explained in different newspaper articles when they shut the school program down, the death penalty, the only school in NCAA history to ever get the death penalty is SMU. And they realized it was too harsh. It changed the direction of the entire program. They gave them the death penalty in the 1980s. I was covering that story back then. And it was like, no school will ever, no matter how bad they flaunt the rules, will get the death penalty because it just changed the direction of the whole school. It made it, an afterthought, so to speak, for a while. Well, SMU, when they joined the ACC, they were doing articles saying, you know what? We knew about NIL back in the 80s because we started NIL, basically. We had the blueprint. We've just been sitting on it. And now they're ready, and they are, because SMU is very relevant. Very, very relevant. And the news today with SMU, and by the way, their new athletic director who's been killing it over there, his name is Damon Evans. He was over there at Georgia for a minute. I think he was at Clemson too. He just knows.
He's been around.
He's been around. He knows his stuff. And he's also in his 40s, so he knows his stuff. They just announced that they got a historic gift. SMU mega donors have raised $50 million earmarked to recruit and retain elite athletes. Wow. And they're going to raise another $50 million by the end of the year in efforts to compete with anybody. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. The mega donors, who are these mega donors? I'm looking for some names I should recognize. Old money. They're usually anonymous. There's 8 people, and ironically, these are married couples. Not 8 married couples, but 4.
Yeah.
But the donations are in his and her names. And they have been donating to SMU over the years. But this time they said, we're going to earmark this for athletes. The reason they were able to get this money from these mega donors and earmark it for athletes is because they were able to convince these mega donors who do all kinds of things for SMU. Just name a building, name a department, fine arts, just name something. Cox School of Business, whatever it is. They've donated over the years. They say, you know what, if we're going to really compete and retain and recruit elite athletes, they say, industry experts say, you got to come up with at least $30 million a year just for CFP caliber rosters. $30 million to compete with the Alabamas, the Oregons, the Michigans, the Indianas with Mark Cuban money. He's one of their big mega donors, and he graduated from there too. So SMU says, you know what? We are now able to do what's necessary. Evans said, quote, we're going to do what is necessary within the rules to compete with anybody, and we are not backing down. Campus leaders call the sports program the chief marketing arm for the school and the connective tissue between athletics and academics. So SMU's got ambitious goals, academically and athletically, and the two are intertwined. The president of the school, Jay Harzel, says, quote, we just can't go where we want to go to academically without a successful athletic program.
Love it.
This gift has propelled the athletic department and student athletes forward. It is also going to do great things for the academic side of the house as well. In fact, the entire university. And they say to prove it, applications to SMU were up 56% in 2025 over 2024. And this is coming on the heels of joining the ACC. In other words, they never joined the ACC. Academically, they're probably a really great program, but they don't have the student body.
I think the most telling thing that the coach said in that quote overall was, within the rules, right?
Within the rules. They got burned before. They're not going to get burned again. They're going to do. But see, they said they had the blueprint. They know what to do and what not to do. While some of other schools around the country, this is uncharted water because it was always under the books or under the table rather, in boxes of pizza or $100 handshakes, that kind of thing. Nope. SMU says we've been waiting, and once we got it all organized, we hit the ground running. And so far, so good. They got $50 million right up front right now this year, 2026, and by the end of the year, they're going to have another $50 million to play with the big boys. And remember, SMU's student population, I want to say there's probably 8,000 or 9,000 students that attend.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, how many is at A&M? At least
75,000.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
See? This is what we're talking about. But just like UT, who's got the biggest athletic fund in America, I think their coffers are like $200 million. If you're going to compete with the big boys, you're going to play in those waters, you got to have some mega donors and some billion-dollar investors.
That's what it takes.
So there you are, a little update on the things in the college sports world today. Coming up next, let's talk about the Cowboys a little bit. 5 things you need to know about the Cowboys salary cap, and we got some Cowboys trade scenarios because team building is a sport. Next on 105.3 The Fan.
Take us with you wherever you go.
cover your termination fee up to $250. See if your home qualifies at basepowercompany.com/thefan.
Welcome back to the show. If you've been injured in a car or truck wreck, call Frankel first. 214 or 817-333-3333. With Frankel and Frankel, there is never an out-of-pocket cost, and they only get paid when you win. Frankel and Frankel, the go-to car and truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
Thanks a lot, Adam. And thank you all, Tolos, for listening to us all the way till 2 o'clock. It's been a wonderful midday. Appreciate all you guys texting in, 877-881-1053. That's the Frankel and Frankel Injury Attorneys text line. I'm joined today. Partner in crime today is the Fan Phenom, the reigning Fan Phenom, Eric Casarez. And Eric, coming up next, you got the, what's your name of your segment again? It's the...
Rick Six.
Rick Six.
Also the name of the podcast.
Yes, his famous podcast that you've been doing since 2020.
COVID.
Look out. You're a seasoned veteran at the podcast.
Time flies by, man. I can't believe it's been that long.
We're going to talk about the Rick Six, and what are you going to do? It's going to be a music thing, right?
Yeah. It's going to be some, do a little tease, hip-hop artist.
Okay, that'll work. Right now, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Morning News delivers again with the top 5 things the Cowboys need to know, or things you need to know about the Cowboys salary cap. And you've got some Cowboy trade scenarios. I want to say this about that salary cap. I've always said this. It's fungible. That's a Jerry Jones word. It means it's flexible, fungible. It could be anything to anybody. It's ubiquitous. It's all things to all people. It is not status. It's not static. It does not stay the same. And I love people who like to team build, because team building is a sport. Projection is a sport. That's why they come up with too early mock drafts and way too early mock drafts, or way too early coaches under fire, or way too early top 10 lists, because people love to project, speculate. It's part of the game. Baseball started years and years, decades ago, when they called it a hot stove league. And there will be a hot stove show this afternoon following the Rangers game, which starts at 2 o'clock. After the show, after that Ranger game in Surprise, Arizona, Rangers versus the Cubs, Jared Sandler's going to hold it down with a hot stove show. So let me tell you about this salary cap, a couple of things you need to know. And I want you to go to dallasnews.com, because Calvin and Joe, they've done it again. They've got it. I mean, everything. It's a primer. It's everything you need to know about the Cowboys and the salary cap. For those who don't know, the first thing you need to know, the salary cap is going up again. It's projected to be $305 million per team. That's more than $22 million more from 2025. That's the first thing you need to know. A couple other things you need to know to show you what the Cowboys are doing, what they're trying to do. As you know, teams have until the start of the league year on March 11th to get under the cap. Right now, the Cowboys are roughly how many dollars over the cap? $25 million. Oh, clutch your pearls. You know that's not real money.
No.
Like I said earlier, and I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks, the salary cap is like your taxes. If you've got a great CPA, Howie Roseman, Philadelphia Eagles, you can make those numbers dance. And no, you don't have to pay this thing at the end. It keeps going up. It's a credit card swipe. All that money is credit card swipes, not TV ratings. It's credit card swipes off of those streaming services from that $117 billion deal the owners will always get. It's not going to go down. They've already pocketed it. See, there's people who like to team build, but what if the salary cap goes down? It won't go down unless everybody goes through the machinations of canceling your credit cards on all these different apps, including Amazon Prime, Netflix, just go, Peacock, just go through all of them. The traditional networks, it's all on apps. They got your money already. So just know this. It's fun to do, but don't say, oh, they won't be able to get under the cap, and what if that dead money is going to cut? No, it won't. Relax. I'm giving you the cheat code so you can relax and enjoy your team building. So the Cowboys have an opportunity to free up $79 million in cap space, $79 million, by restructuring the contracts of Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Smith, Osa Odighizuwa. And they already, by the way, saved $6.5 million when they cut Logan Wilson last night. They can free up more. They cut Terrence Steele, $14 million. They cut Malik Hooker, $6.85 million. And by the way, the guys who restructured their contracts, They're getting the money. So don't think they won't restructure. Zach Martin did it quietly every year. Don't think Dak Prescott won't do it. How much will he count up against the cap this year if he doesn't do it? $74 million, but they knew that. Everybody knows he makes $60 million a year, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
How much did they count up against the cap last year? 50, not 60, 50. Why? Because they're restructured.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to help you guys out. By the way, there's only been one quarterback who's led the NFL in salary to win a Super Bowl. Do you know who that is?
Is it recent?
Yeah. It happened in 2023.
Oh, Mahomes.
That's right, Patrick Mahomes. 37.1. That was the cap hit. That was his salary that year. And by the way, his $500 million deal that he signed with Kansas City, $500 million contract, which was a win-win. Everybody said, "Oh, that's great because it's not $60 million a year."
Yeah.
They have restructured it again. And by the way, congratulations to him and his wife and his wife Brittany and the kids. They went to this theme park here in Dallas.
Yeah, they were here yesterday. Yeah.
Peppa Pig, something like that. Peppa something. Name of that theme park. They were hanging out. It's all on social media. And this is what's really wild as well. How teams spend money on offense and how they spend it on defense. Where do you think the Cowboys rank on money spent on offense? 1 through 32.
30.
No. Offense.
Oh, offense.
Mm-hmm.
6th.
Number 2.
Really? Okay.
They spent $207
Top
million
5.
on offense.
Top 3.
Defense. Where do you think they spent on defense?
Oh, okay, this is like 28, 29.
You would think the way they played, foolishly, it's number 16.
Really? So mid-pack.
$108 million. Special teams. You know they don't pay Aubrey that much money. How much you think they spent on special teams?
Okay, I'll go with 28, 29 again.
14.
Really?
I mean, there's some of these guys, they're not good enough to start, but they're on the special teams. Think about that. Or
okay.
Even C.J. Goodwin, the captain,
Hey,
he
hand
gets
up.
paid.
Hand up.
Okay. How much money do you think the Seattle Seahawks spent on their defense? Because that's what won them the Super Bowl, right? Sam Darnold was there. Their offense, they spent $112 million. How much do you think they spent on defense?
Are we putting a number to it?
Yes. Do
Tell
you think
me.
they spent more than that 112?
Yes.
No, they didn't. 108. It was pretty much
right
balanced.
under it.
Most teams spent more on offense. Than
They do have a lot of young guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most teams are like way more on offense than on defense. Only Carolina and Seattle are pretty balanced. Carolina's offense and defense pretty much the same. Carolina, where is it? Carolina spent 100. Where was it? Well, just know it's pretty much balanced. Eagles, by the way, since everybody's looking at them, 3 Super Bowls in 7 years. They went to back-to-back a couple of years ago, won it until this past year. They were defending champions until Seattle won it. Eagles, $180 million on offense, 72 on defense. And we've got their pass game coordinator now. We've got their secret weapon.
CP.
Christian Parker. All right, that's a little bit about the Cowboys and the salary cap. As you could prepare for the combine, prepare for free agency, prepare for the draft, etc. You got some trade scenarios because team building is a sport.
Team building is a sport, man. And look, what's one thing the Cowboys need to do this offseason? They got to build that defense.
They got to work on it.
They got to work on it. And you know what, CA? It's not going to be just one person. You know, we need a lot of things to happen. We need the draft to hit. We need to be aggressive in free agency. We already got the scheme and the guys. We got the younger staff. So, you know, shout out to CP. You know, he got to build his own staff. We're on the right direction, but you got to get the personnel because personnel matters. So I got a couple trade scenarios for you. You ready? Here we go. All right, first one. This is by Heavy.com. Dallas Cowboys receive safety Micah Fitzpatrick from the Miami Dolphins. Yep. And Miami receives a 2026 fifth-round pick, 150 overall. Safety is one of the most underrated needs for the Cowboys going into 2026. And no, the new defense coordinator, Christian Parker, would love a high-end starter like Fitzpatrick on the team. Parker,
a veteran.
Yep, a veteran. Parker also mentioned multiplicities at the theme of the defense, and versatile DB like Mika would give Dallas exactly that.
So would you want him instead of moving up to get the kid from Ohio State Downs?
Yes.
He's got more upside? But
yes.
Because in other words, I think, are you saying yes because you know the offense is set and you could go to the playoffs deeper as opposed to possibly learning on the job with Downs?
Yeah, and the thing about we at the end of the day, we still have 2 first overall picks, okay? So at the end of the day, even if we don't trade up and get somebody like a Caleb Downs, okay, maybe there's still one there. Maybe there's a Sonny Styles there, somebody else, a Mansour Deline, the LSU corner. There's going to be somebody there that we can still draft. We don't have to throw our eggs in one basket to trade up. So, hey, why don't you do a low risk, high reward and trade a 5th for Minka Fitzpatrick?
Give Minka the green dot.
Yeah,
Put it on
I
his
like
helmet.
it.
I do too. I'm
like
not mad at that at all. Give me another scenario.
Here's another one that might make Cowboys fans a little bit outrageous.
Oh, outraged or
outraged, I should say. Yeah, thanks for the correction. Cowboys
off.
on SI. ESPN Dan Graziano said Cowboys propose George
Dan
Pickens.
Graziano or Dan Graziano?
Graziano. Man, you're getting me today with all these pronunciations.
That's okay.
I appreciate you.
I've been in the game a long time, but I'll still jack up names.
Dan Graziano. Cowboys propose George Pickens, Max Crosby trade that they say would spark outrage because the Dallas Cowboys need a pass rusher, but it has to involve, unfortunately, getting rid of George Pickens. So you got to pick your poison with that one. So here we go. Graziano suggests that the Cowboys send the number 20 overall pick that they have, first-round pick, as well as starred wide receiver George Pickens to the Raiders for Max Crosby and the 36 overall pick. So they move back 16 spots, get Max Crosby, give up Pickens at number 20. What do you think about that?
Okay, everybody wants to bring Max Crosby home, but everybody still loves George Pickens and his upside. The X factor on Pickens is his agent. You don't know what the agent wants. You also don't know if George Pickens is going to be at his best through the length of the contract. I think he will, but there are people saying, hey, he was only being good this year because he was trying to get that contract. I think people in Pittsburgh conflated him with Antonio Brown, and he's not Antonio Brown. He does not have CTE.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. And, of course, Crosby grew up here, went to high school here. You do get to 36, but no, I still want to roll with George.
Yeah. No.
Don't get me wrong. Let me tell you my qualifier. Love Crosby. But didn't he just have a season-ending injury? We don't know if he's going to be 100%, if he's going to be the same guy. You hope he is. You think he should be. I don't know about that.
Max Crosby is a great player.
He's a great player.
I'll give you that.
No doubt. And he's very, very smart.
Very good.
I have nothing against him, but I haven't kicked the tires on his injury. Is he going to be hitting the run? Is he going to be able to be 100% day one, game one, or are we going to have to wait and let him, reboot, get better?
My problem with
469 says, hell to the no.
Yeah.
Another 469 says, we got to keep GP.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. And regardless of how I feel about George Pickens or not, it's not even losing George Pickens that really bothers me about this. What bothers me about this is giving up a first-round pick for Max Crosby. And the Raiders, there's rumors about that they're seeking multiple first-round picks. So this would just be Micah 2.0. At that point, if you're going to get Max Crosby and trade your 2, why wouldn't you have just kept Micah Parsons a year ago? You know what I'm saying?
Because they got feelings getting in the way.
Yeah, Jerry Jones.
Jerry always used to say, don't get mad at your money. He got mad at his money that time. We got Tolo's weighing in on this. Tolo from the 817 says, Dak needs 2 all-pro wide receivers to be what he was last year. Without George, he's too predictable. We've got to keep George. 469 says, I would give them pick number 20 for Crosby, but that's it.
Yeah.
And
I would too. If it was... maybe I don't like the idea of giving up a first, but if it was 20, I would do it. I'm not giving up 12.
Real quick, Tolo Thaddeus says, can I get a shout out for my birthday day? Happy birthday, Thaddeus. Got you
Happy
down.
birthday, Thaddeus.
You got
Shout
another
out to
scenario, or you want to stick with that one? You're going to kick the tires on that some more. People been kicking their tires.
I have one more thing to say about it.
Go ahead.
And I will say, the whole Micah Parsons thing, the 2 first-round picks, I don't think Max Crosby, I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, and it's not because he's a bad player.
Age?
Age, and I just don't want to give up that much. And also, everybody's talking about the cap this, cap that, right? You got to pay. Nobody wants to pay George Pickens $30 million to $38 million a year. Max Crosby owes $30 million the next 2 years. Okay, so you're going to have to pay him regardless.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of one problem, you're creating another.
Well, for those again who are concerned about players making $30 million, the cap keeps going up. And the players have to get paid. It's in the collective bargaining agreement that they get $48.7 48.7% of all monies that the NFL owners make.
Yep.
They have to spend that money. They don't have to go. They have to be. If they're under the cap, they can't be under the cap way too much. In other words, you can't be $50 million under the cap.
214 says you're not getting max for one pick. It's going to take 2 first plus, and I agree with that, and that's why I'm out.
Somebody said, is Deron Bland all over again if you get Crosby? Talking about the injury.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I'm saying is that's making me pause. That's just me.
And it's not, and again, we're not saying he's a bad player.
What's your last scenario?
Yeah, last scenario, and I'm sure you heard this one. It was by Daniel Jeremiah from ESPN. Chiefs, so we give up the number 20 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't give up George Pickens, so we keep Pickens. Give up number 20, we get Trent McDuffie, who's going to be on his last year of his rookie contract. So you're going to have to pay him if he comes in and balls out. He's one of the best corners in the league.
Position.
He's a corner. He plays that nickels too.
Mm-hmm. See, this is the deal. Sometimes people name the names, but they don't say the team or they don't say the position, and so you want to be able to let everybody know what you're talking about. And because you need some help in that secondary, that's why it makes you pause and go, I wouldn't do it, but it still makes you go,
Yeah. It makes you go. I like it better than Max Crosby. That's all I'm saying.
Very good. I love the scenarios, and I love the knowledge we pass along, the cheat code for all the Tolos and those who like to team build on the salary cap. Coming up next, we got a
Rick 6 hip-hop artist, Keep 3, Cut 5, coming up next on The Fan.
Combine coverage is also brought to you by East Dallas Diesel. Tolos know where the best draft coverage is. It's right here on The Fan.
Welcome back to the show. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. #1 Chevy dealership in the world for 3 years straight, and they've got more new Chevys than anyone, all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Relax and enjoy the difference. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023 and 2024.
Thanks, Adam. This is 105.3 The Fan. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the Fan Phenom Eric Casarez. And guess what? Tolos, 877-881-1053. That's the Franklin & Frankel Injury Attorneys text line. The 214 says, hey, CA, former Sooner here. I would like to give my girls a happy birthday shout-out. Charlotte is on the 24th and Emma is on the 25th. Happy early birthday, ladies. Got you down.
Back to
Eric,
back.
It's that time that everybody's been waiting for. The Rick 6.
Another version of Rick 6. We're going to be getting into some Keep 3, Cut 5. Have you done this one before?
I've heard you on the air. You and Fred talk about it.
Yeah, so basically it's self-explanatory, right? I'm going to give you 8 things. We got to keep 3. We got to cut 5. You don't know what I'm giving to you next. You do know the theme, though. So we're doing hip-hop artist.
Okay, before the theme, you say keep 3, cut 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like date them. I'm just kidding.
It's almost so think of it like a blind rank.
Yeah.
Except you got to get rid of 5 and you got to keep 3.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
So this is a hip hop artist.
Yeah, a hip hop artist, and I don't. See, I'm going to learn a little bit more about you as we start working together. What's your music taste like?
I like a lot of different.
You like your hip hop?
I like everything.
So you got to be cautious here. How about you? How about you, Black Adam? What you think? You like hip hop?
He's in the middle of something.
I mean, personally, I like hip hop, but I like a little bit of everything. I can really get into some pop, especially modern.
You like Samantha?
Yes, I do. The only thing that I don't particularly care for is country, but even then, there's a couple country guys that I can get into, such as Wyatt Flores.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Your opinion matters just as much as the Tolos. 877-881-1053. Chime in on these Keep 3, Cut 5. Who would you cut? Who would you keep? Hip-hop artists, let's go ahead and get on into it. And Adam, I know you're busy back there, but hopefully you can chime in here in a little bit. We'll start with you, CA. Here we go. First artist up. We'll start with Drizzy Drake.
Well, who's it competing against? I can't tell you if I want to keep him.
That's
I got to keep him
the risk you got to
for
take.
financial reasons alone.
So you're going to keep him. You're going to use your keep.
Forget the fact that he lost the battle.
He won the war?
He's won the war so far.
Okay.
Look at his catalog.
Longevity.
That's what I'm saying.
Longevity matters. So you're going to get your first keep out of the way.
I'm not saying he's the most influential. I'm just saying that he has been the most popular for a decade.
Yeah. And remember, if you keep
K-Dot just killed him on that dun dun dun.
If you keep Drake, you only get to keep 2 more. Just remember that. Keep in mind. You want to keep Drake?
Mm-hmm.
All right. CA is keeping Drake. Shots fired. The longevity speaks for itself. How about up next as another heavy hitter right here? Lil Wayne.
Wheezy, baby.
Wheezy.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut him. And Wheezy's kind of responsible for Drake's career because he signed with Young Money.
Wow. I'm telling you, I'm going to throw you some heavy hitters out here.
Okay.
You're
going back to go old school now.
Yeah.
Now he's going to go all the way back to Snoop or
Cutting Wheezy
Jay-Z.
is a bold take. We got already 940.
I'm not from Louisiana.
Said keep. Hey, Wheezy is he's a Green Bay Packers fan.
I don't care.
So, hey, all I'm saying is I don't hate the cut.
Right.
I don't hate it because of that reason. All jokes aside, next up, Kanye West.
He lost his damn mind. Damn shame.
Ever since his mother died.
Yeah. And they buried her in Tulsa or Oklahoma City. One or the other. But buried in Oklahoma. Even Jay-Z and Beyonce showed up at the funeral. Yeah, his mom, she influenced the hell out of him. But he was very, very groundbreaking. Very unique.
That's the thing. He was really influential. So, does that year or two of losing his mind take him off?
It's still lost. His mind is still lost. Since he fell off? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Because it's almost kind of like Drake. It's like he lost that rap battle against K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
But before that, he had. So, like you said, before Kanye lost his damn mind, look at this. I'm wearing these Yeezy shoes right now.
Hey, shout out to you. So you want to keep them?
I'm just torn because I don't know what you got left.
Well, I gotta ask you, Adam, real quick.
He's very influential.
I gotta ask you real quick. Who has more misses? And misses in terms of overall songs or albums, etc. Drake or Kanye?
What do you mean misses?
Like misses as in like, you would consider that song like a skip on the playlist.
For me personally, Drake has more misses, but I'm also biased towards Kanye.
Okay.
So
he already elected to keep Drake.
Okay, so listen to this. And I understand your points because, like I said, I'm really torn on this Kanye thing because Kanye is brilliant. Drake isn't brilliant. He's extremely successful. I don't want to get it twisted. There's a reason K-Dot beat him because K-Dot, he's so great, he won a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
We're talking about more than just Grammys. He won a Pulitzer. So with Kanye, he's so influential over all of these years. And he's brilliant. He's very brilliant. So I haven't cut him yet. I'm just torn because I don't know what you're bringing up next. I'm going to keep him.
All right, we're keeping Kanye. So we're keeping Kanye and Drake. That's what we got so far. We're cutting Weezy, Lil Wayne. Next name up, J. Cole.
Oh, my God. Why are you doing that to me? He's my favorite right now. He's coming into town on my birthday.
You listen to the Fall Off? You like it?
Of course.
It was great.
Of course. I've been fortunate enough to have a conversation with him.
So
he came to the Maverick games back in the day.
Hey, you only got one keep left. So if you keep J. Cole, you got to cut everybody else. Is that the risk you're going to take?
Oh, boy. This is just really difficult because J. Cole, I think he's just low-key one of the greatest ever. Here's what's so crazy. To show you how influential Kanye is, you know that line? Everybody remembers when the Rangers won the World Series, right? And Corey Seager at the victory parade, remember his famous line he said? He was mocking the Houston Astros. And he said, they wonder, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
You know where they got that from? You know where the Astros got that? Kanye at an award ceremony.
Jason Tatum also said it too. He loves copying people.
They're quoting Kanye.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, people already saying cut J. Cole. The tollers are weighing in.
They may not be familiar with his work. It's kind of like Shaq. I didn't know about you. I'm not familiar with your phone. I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your phone.
Oh, the 214 said cut. I'm waiting on Legends.
Cut him. He waiting on Legends. That's why I'm pausing. That's what's taking me so long because I'm like, you haven't mentioned Jay-Z. You haven't mentioned Snoop. Yeah. Jay-Z is just so strong. I mean, Kanye is so. I mean, Cole is so strong. This is. Total saying what? This game is too stressful.
It really is. I never said it'd be easy. I never said it was going to be easy. What do you think,
since
Black
you
Adam?
don't know what's next.
Yeah, exactly. Because J. Cole is our fourth, right, or third?
He's our fourth.
I was gonna say, I don't want to use up our third space on him already, and then the next four are just goats of rap.
I know. That's what's killing me. Because Jay-Z is low key goat.
This is why I love this game. That's why I love it.
So you're sinister, sir. You are sinister.
Because you don't know if I'm gonna be throwing. I could throw the next 4 guys at you that are bad, or can I throw bangers? You never know.
Yeah, he hasn't said Jay-Z yet.
Final answer.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut him.
Dang, that's
Only
brutal.
because I don't know.
That's brutal, but I respect it. And you know what's funny?
He's coming to town on my birthday. I'm not gonna miss that show.
You know what's funny?
What's
you
that?
cut J. Cole because you just said this guy's name. Jay-Z was the next one up.
Well, he's in, and not just for financial reasons. He got $2.1 billion or something. First of all, very influential. And here's one of the reasons I'm really impressed with him. And I've interviewed him several times and met him several times. He's a Cowboys fan too, by the way, on a sports level. He writes all of the stuff on his albums off the top of his head. He just starts feeling it and he just starts rapping. In other words, he doesn't write anything down. That's brilliant. That's one of the most amazing things you can. Eminem's also up there too. He writes so much stuff, and rap guy.
But Eminem is also well past his prime too. So you got to consider.
It's kind of like saying, Kanye lost his mind.
Yeah,
you got to look at the body of work.
Yeah,
and
that's
Eminem's
true.
up there too. That's why this is really, really stressful, difficult.
817 said Jay-Z so overrated. Also, CA, you're tripping. I guess for cutting, for keeping Jay-Z.
I had no choice.
All right, here we go. All right. So you decided.
Let me say this. I said this again for those who don't know. Everything he writes is off the top of his head.
Yes.
Those lyrics
The
are
best
insane.
freestyler ever, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you decided to keep Drake, keep
I got
Kanye.
99 problems in. That ain't one.
There you go. So you decided to keep Jay-Z, keep Kanye, and keep Drake. You cut Lil Wayne. You cut J. Cole.
I could take Michael. Take my pick.
Jackson, Tyson.
Game 6.
All right, the last 3 guys you decided to cut. 50 Cent, Eminem, and K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar.
See?
You happy with that list?
No. You could have had 6 of them and kept it like that. 7 of them. That's a damn shame. I'm mad. I don't play your game no more. I'm taking my ball and going home.
I love it.
That was a great. Oh my goodness. My mind is just all messed up. I'm gonna have to take a break. That was a great Rick 6. It really was. Props to you.
Pleasure as always.
When we come back, we're gonna talk some Cowboys so I can try to shake off this stress. Next on 105.3 The Fan. That's brutal.
Our goal is to have you winning every sports debate with
popular? Is that what you're saying?
I was just thinking, yeah, he's global. How about that?
Yeah, he's definitely global. He's become very, very popular. But
Well,
polarizing means half the people hate him, half the people love him. That's polarizing.
Well, I always looked at polarizing like just a very unique entity, I guess. So like if I was
That's not it.
if I would call like Victor Wembanyama a polarizing prospect.
Well, he's an alien.
Because
he's a monster. He's only polarizing if he's extremely controversial. Polarizing means controversial. It means very, very polarizing means people are dug in one way or the other. You could even say Dak is more polarizing.
Really?
He might be considered one of the most polarizing athletes. I'm going to look up the official.
I'm excited to hear
read this to you. Polarizing means wholly or partial to one direction only. Okay? What does it mean to be polarizing? The act, fact, or practice of dividing people into sharply opposing factions. So polarizing, like I hate to, I was just sharing the knowledge, educating people how to use the word properly. Polarizing means either they hate you or they love you. It's not they like you or you're good or you're popular. Popular is one thing. Polarizing means if rational arguments fail, he can always fall back on the techniques of mockery or polarizing. Polarizing means dividing people into sharply opposing factions.
I would still consider Cooper Flagg polarizing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
In what way?
I mean, because, like you said, like you're
what
the
does
number
he do
one.
that's polarizing?
You're the number one overall pick.
And why would people hate that?
Because a lot of people feel like he's right in the shadow of Luka Doncic, and it's not his fault. I'm not saying it is his fault, but people could point and be like, well, he's not Luka. He's not Luka, and they want him to fill those shoes of Luka. But the fact of the matter is, he's not Luka. He's a different player. He's his own player. So that makes him polarizing. And for how good he is at a young age, is that not polarizing?
Not really. Again, it's got to be something that he says, or it's not a way people put it on him. It's maybe.
So he has to be like, he has to say something that makes it like. That makes him polarizing.
The reason they call it polarizing, and Tolo from 817 kind of explains it best. The North Pole is this way. The South Pole is that way. They're polar opposites. Okay, so when someone's polarizing, that means half the people hate him, half the people love him.
So give me an example of polarizing.
I just gave you an example.
No, like I'm talking about an athlete.
I just gave an example about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, there are people who say he sucks. And there are other people who say, no, he's good.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, like I said, somebody just texted in, Kyrie used to be very polarizing. Because there are people who hated him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
But Cooper Flagg, he doesn't do anything that's negative. There might be somebody who says he's overrated.
Okay, how about, someone said, 817 said Caitlin Clark is polarizing. Love her. How is she polarizing?
Because some people want to say that she's the greatest thing since this, and there are other people who say she's not that good. And then there are some people, like there's some WNBA legends. Cheryl Swoops is one of them. She just won't give her credit for anything. So, which is wrong. And again, like I said, Dak is polarizing for wrong. Tony Romo was always polarizing too. He sucks. He always loses the game at the last minute. No, he's great. Have you seen him play? He makes these incredible plays out of nothing. That's polarizing.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg doesn't do anything that's so negative that make you say, well, he's not that good. What has he done to make you think that he's not that good, or he says that make you think he's not good?
Well, what if people, like I said, what if people are trying
Somebody
to...
Somebody said you're just double downing.
Maybe I am. What if people are saying that he's not Luka? I mean, isn't that not... They're trying to get him to fill shoes.
But that's not polarizing. Because he's not saying he's Luka. He's never said he was going to be Luka.
So it has to be them in particular saying it.
Something about that person.
But what makes Caitlin Clark polar? I feel like she's humble. I mean, I don't think she says stuff that's polarizing.
Oh, another 469 says Jerry Jones is polarizing AF.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones loves the attention too, so.
John Rocker's polarizing. And again, Jerry Jones is doing that on purpose. I mean,
oh yeah,
he's always said he wants the team to be relevant. So, as long as people are talking about the Cowboys, good or bad, in fact, the whole team could be considered polarized. The franchise, not the individual players, the franchise. Because some people say they're overrated, they hate they hadn't won anything. So, and other people say, no, I've always grew up with the Cowboys. They're going to be good. That's a polarizing franchise. But Cooper Flagg to be polarizing, that's almost a stretch because he hasn't done anything negative. Not even at the end of a game where he said he shouldn't have done that. He is always doing that. It's awful.
Okay. Well, I'll take the L on this one.
It's not about taking the L. It's just, you know what? Sometimes you got to say, I've gained some knowledge. It's not about taking an L. It's not saying that you were wrong. You just learn more. It's kind of like finding out something about someone and you thought they were one thing and then you found out more. And you can't say, I took an L. That's like people in the sports world today. Unfortunately, they dig in for no reason. They don't have room to say, guess what? This guy actually improved. That player that you draft, Sam Darnold actually improved. You can't say he sucks or he chokes at the end. What did he do this year to make, you see what I'm saying? There's so many people that want to say, I'm not wrong. When you gain more knowledge, you're not wrong. You're better. You're smarter. You don't have to eat words. You don't have to say you ate that or not that you should have known. Things change. Sam Darnold got a championship ring now. You weren't wrong. So anyway, it's not about taking the L.
No, I
thought
learning. I just thought it was a different. There's a different meaning to it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I told you what the definition really is, and there's nothing wrong with you just learning new. It's kind of like Blake. Blake learns stuff all the time, and he takes it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doubles down just to mess with people, just to mess with Fred at night. But you always learn. You learn more what meanings of words are. You learn more about the individual. So
Yeah. Now you know, though.
Now you know. And that was one of my phrases I would always say on the radio back in the day. Now you know. Because there's always room for growth. If you just double down your whole life, you will never learn anything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not about being wrong.
Those people
it's about learning more.
Those people on those ESPN, those like first take shows, they love doubling down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they do. And sometimes it's scripted.
Yeah.
Read the script. They do that on purpose.
Because the clicks. They love the clicks.
Exactly. They're trying to stay relevant, like Jerry Jones says.
And speaking of Jerry,
let's talk about them Cowboys. They got everybody seems to think they got the hire right, the defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, and they think all of his assistants, and like Shadi was saying at the press conference, they interviewed like 40 people. And we're not talking about just for potential defensive coordinators. We're talking about entire staff. They kicked the tires really, really good. And I give them credit for just trying to really check out the landscape. And I give Jerry and Steven and Will McClay credit for stepping back and letting Shadi and Christian Parker name their staff as opposed to making them take on, well, we got this former player who wants to come back and he wants to be the secondary coach. No, let them go with what they know so that you can build this defense right. And you were talking about something that caught all of our attention at the press conference when Christian Parker talked about the kind of defense he was going to have, right? What was this?
Yeah, so Christian Parker, did the press conference, and he was talking about what defensive schemes he will be running next year with the Cowboys.
On the Fan.
I think Black Adam might be a little occupied.
Thing is we're going to be multiple. I think that whenever you form a defensive structure, it's about the players that you have. So core principles, we'll be a 3-4 by nature, but 4-3 spacing will be appropriate, 4-2-5 in nickel, different front structures, coverages behind it. But I would say being multiple is probably the most important thing about it.
Different front structures, CA. That's interesting because, is it going to be front? Is it going to be back? Is it going to be bare on the scheme? Because when you have bare on the front, you're going to have the 5 defensive linemen. So you're going to have the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles, and the edges. So you got to draft some big boys up there. But we have Quinnen Williams. We have Kenny Clark, who's a nose tackle guy. You got Osa. What you going to do with him? And so are they going to draft more linebackers now? Like, I mean, I don't know. The things that he's saying about this defense, some of the key words he was saying, I'm liking the vision so far.
I'm loving the vision, and I love the fact, even before he got here, midseason, when they actually started the season, we got Kenny Clark, and midseason when they got Quentin Williams, they finally, after like 15 years, addressed the middle of the defensive line. I was always just shaking my head. I always wanted them to go get Vita Vea. I always wanted them to go up to get Aaron Donald, because I wanted them to, have some pressure in the middle. Now, what you're hearing from Christian Parker, he's going to build this team with a base of a 3-4, but they're going to be able to match the defense to the talent that they have. In other words, they're going to try to get the talent to fit the scheme, but until they get that scheme the way they want it, they're going to be flexible. And I also like the fact that he knows how to match his defense with the team they're going to play. You just can't say, we are who we are, and that offense, well, we'll just figure it out. No, I like what he's saying.
Yeah.
And there's another cut you want to play too, right?
Yeah, no, and real quick, I was just going to say the front structure, the bare front was the one that I was butchering the name on. Bare front structures, when he was saying, because more front structures, that was the one I was talking about with the 5 defensive linemen. But he also went in on why he chose the Cowboys.
I think when, we initially started the process, you could tell there was an aligned vision for what they wanted in the position, where we wanted to go forward. Obviously, a great deal of respect for not only the organization, but the players involved on the team, having been in division for the past 2 years and having different times going against them. Significant offensive firepower, stayed up a lot of, late nights trying to prepare for. So it always helps when you have a franchise quarterback and offensive skill players on that side of the ball that can control the game for you. But I think the biggest thing was just the alignment. You could feel from everybody in the building during those interactions that there was a shared vision involved and people wanted to move forward in the right direction.
This is what I loved about his press conference. Besides Blake Elliott being the star of the press conference and asking the questions about what he was doing back in the college days and what Art of War, those books he was reading to prepare him for this job. I love those questions. But I also love the fact that he answered the questions not in cookie cutter coach speak. He was giving you, I'm going to call it coach jargon. He was talking X's and O's in the language that coaches speak to each other and the way they speak to the players. He's only 34, and you could tell by his repertoire of the way he explained things. And again, he didn't dumb it down for the media, and he didn't just say, we both teams played hard and we won, or both teams played hard.
Yeah.
He didn't dumb it down. He didn't do a Marshawn Lynch, I'm here so I won't get fined. He actually showed off his knowledge, and he also showed about how he planned to use these schemes, which is much more than you hear from a lot of coaches, especially during the season. The fact that he did it at his very first press conference, I think it showed a lot of people that he's much more mature than a 34-year-old that he is, age-wise.
Yeah, and I love the young, innovative mind that he's bringing and, bringing the own staff as well. And his relationship with Shotty kind of hitting it off in the press conference.
Yeah.
It looked like they have a great relationship.
Did you hear Shotty talking about the first time he met him?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, we just didn't really meet, though. It was at a function, and both of them were just happened to be there. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And he said, and then Shotty was like, but he was always on my radar because too many people were talking about him. I had met him formally, but it wasn't like we just hanging out, So I love the whole fact that this looks like this is going to work. Is there anything else about this defense that we didn't touch on you want to get into?
No, I mean, I like the vision. I like all the different things he was talking about. Like I said, the front structure is going to be interesting. The schemes that they're going to be, all it's going to be now is personnel and who they're going to draft. I think they're going to be very linebacker and safety, maybe cornerback driven this draft. So I'll be all in, man. I mean, all these trade scenarios, they're all buzz. At the end of the day, we just got to see what they do.
Give you one more that he said that I really was impressed with. It might have been a Blake question, but he said the best thing a coach could do or a leader should do is listen. He said, I want to know what the players are talking about and if they understand what we're trying to get done. He said, the more you're able to listen to them to see what they know, if they understand the scheme. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically was saying this. He said, and it made me think about how in the past, certain coaches, just simply weren't listening.
Yeah.
They were just tuning out players and saying, this is my scheme, and you're going to learn it without having two-a-days anymore in the NFL, without having all the OTAs and mini camps. And I'm like, it's just, you can't be dug in that way. You just can't. You've got to work with the players that you've got and hopefully evolve it to the system that you like to run. So I love the way Parker's talking. And when we get back on the other side of this commercial break, you mentioned Cooper Flagg. Oh, the Up in Smoke. They had some fun talking about Cooper Flagg and how great he really is. Next on 105.3 The Fan.
When your friends say, hey, did you hear? You can proudly say, I heard it on The Fan. Keeping you sports informed with some quality laughs along the way. Turn it on and leave it on. 105.3 The Fan, the Odyssey app, iHeartRadio app, and TuneIn app.
This is Ryan Watson, owner of Alliance Hyundai. During the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, we have over 600 vehicles in stock, like the all-new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and owner's assurance. Visit us at AllianceHyundai.net today.
Sean and RJ here with the official coffee of the morning show. It is Just Love Coffee, and they weren't created just to make great coffee. From the beginning, the goal has always been bigger than the drink. Founded in 2009 by Rob Webb, an adoptive father who saw firsthand how overwhelming the adoption process could be. It's about family. It's about friendship. It's about fellowship. It didn't start with cafes or an operation, just an 800-square-foot space, a small roaster, and a big idea. It's the official coffee of the morning show. 2 locations. It's Just Love Coffee.
Good news. Frontier is joining Verizon. That's right. America's best mobile network and Frontier's lightning-fast fiber internet are coming together. So whether at home, on the go, or running a business, you'll have the connection you can count on to get more done. And for a limited time, switch and bundle both plans to get our best offer. Frontier and Verizon. Better together. Visit Verizon.com/Welcome Frontier to learn more. Based on Root Metrics U.S. Root Score Report second half 2025. Not an endorsement. All rights reserved. The results may vary. Service availability varies. Terms apply.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions.
Think switching to T-Mobile's a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy. You can do it almost anywhere in just 15 minutes.
Even poolside like Drewski, you can switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
Now I get all the VIP perks.
Start saving from day one, and for a limited time, get T-Mobile's Better Value Plan.
I know you love deals.
Plus, switch right now, and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800. What do you think of all that, Drewski?
Stay chillin', just switch it. It's better over here.
Check the math at T-Mobile.com/better value. Savings versus comparable plans at AT&T and Verizon, plus the cost of optional benefits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. With 3+ lines of Better Value Plan, 3+ new lines and 2 eligible ports, or 3+ lines and 5+ years on T-Mobile postpaid plan required. Qualifying credit required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Get up to $800 per line via virtual prepaid card. Typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90+ days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. Member FDIC.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Welcome back to The Fan. If you've been injured in a car or truck wreck, call Frankel first, 214 or 817-333-3333. With Frankel & Frankel, there is never an out-of-pocket cost, and they only get paid when you win. Frankel & Frankel, the go-to car and truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
Thanks, Adam. This is 105.3 The Fan. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the Fan Phenom Eric Casarez. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great, and we are in crunch time as we get closer to this Rangers-Cubs game and kicking off at 2.
Yes, Rangers taking on the Cubs at 2 o'clock here. Home of the Rangers right here, 105.3 The Fan, home of the Cowboys as well. We've been talking a little football, college basketball, NBA basketball, some boxing. We were talking about just about everything in the world.
Some hockey.
Sports, some hockey, yeah. Football, baseball, hockey, golf, track, tennis, archery, rodeo, auto racing, horse racing, a little bit of everything. And we had mentioned a little earlier that Cooper Flagg's going to be on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon Monday night. And I can't wait to see him making his talk show debut. He's got a great personality. He is not the kind of guy that's like over the top or anything. He doesn't say anything. He's kind of not quiet, but he's just, he's a regular old guy. And he's always about his game. The only thing he does as a hobby is play golf. He's not really up to speed with music. He's just basketball and golf. Got a twin brother named Ace, got an older brother named Hunter. And he has never not been Rookie of the Month in the Western Conference this season. Number 1 overall pick. All the scouts are saying he's a generational talent. He's going to be good. And he has lived up to the hype. In fact, he surpassed it in a lot of ways to some people who said, I didn't think he was going to be that good. And it reminds me of what Fred was talking about. Fred Davis was talking about this just about before the season started, right around in there. He was thinking that a lot of NBA fans, basketball fans, Maverick fans included, they were like, well, pump the brakes. Yeah, we don't know if he's going to be that good. I mean, you keep saying best talent since LeBron, and we don't really know. Let the kid play first. And he's been doing amazing things. Well, the reason Fred brought it up, he's like, wait a minute. I think the problem is he's not European. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, and then he's doing it on the show. Fred was talking about this on the show. He's like, I think people would be more open to the fact that Cooper Flagg could really be great if he was like from Slovakia like Jokic or Slovenia like Luka, or just name a European player that everybody says, oh, this guy is so good. He's a great American player, and he's white, but he's not. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust my opinion that he's going to be all of that because he's an American. And I was laughing at Fred because I was like, Fred's got a point here. I kid you not. Last night I'm online, and some of my favorite guys have this podcast called All the Smoke. That's former NBA players Matt Barnes and Captain Jack, Steven Jackson. They're hilarious. They're great. They're profound. They got all the. It's kind of like a TNT.
Yeah.
For the 21st century. And I've actually been on that show, not talking on their show, but I guess it was last summer, year before last. They were talking about me. We were talking about. They were interviewing Sean Kemp, and Sean Kemp was the greatest in-game dunker in NBA history. He was talking about how he got discovered in a dunk contest, and he was giving me credit for all that. And so they were showing pictures of me and talking about me and all that on the show. And my phone blew up and my text blew up. And, hey, they're talking about you on the show. And it was funny. And then, I know Matt and I know Steven. I ran into Steven months later. We were talking about all that. Well, they've also added Mad Max, Vernon Maxwell, another NBA legend, who was really good back in the day, back in the 90s with the Houston Rockets, because he's funny as well. And they actually started talking about Cooper Flagg, and is he the greatest white American basketball player ever? And this is too funny.
The Morris brothers brought it up on their new podcast. Shout out the Morris twins. Cooper Flagg could be the best white American player ever.
They don't remember Larry Bird.
I'm just saying who in the category. I just want to know what they talking about.
We're not talking about no over-the-water boys. I would say right now the greatest white player of all time is Larry Bird, and I don't think it's even
That's
close.
What I say.
Cooper is nowhere close to that.
He's doing well, but they ain't got them, not Larry Bird.
Yeah. He is the rookie of the year and all that, and he's the best player the Mavericks have, and they can't let him go. I give him all that. Until Cooper walk on the court and tell 9 other that I'm finna shoot with my left hand and get 40,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Larry Bird is different, man. He's different.
I don't want to hear.
So just remember, Larry Bird's rookie year, he was 4th in the MVP voting. He was an all-star. He was rookie of the year and first team all-NBA. But let's also keep in mind that Larry had 4 years of college, so Larry jumped in the league at 22 years old.
Yes.
So let's remember, Cooper was only 18. I think he's 19 now. So I definitely think there is a chance. I think he's a long way away from it. But I think at the end of the day, you got to admit, Cooper Flagg is everything that they said he was going to be and more.
Yes.
I'm telling you, he's up there. He's somewhat in the conversation. Put it like this. In my mind, he may be the best American white player of the 21st century. Larry Bird, 20th century, no doubt. And Mad Max was talking about this. He said, until he says, I'm going to shoot left-handed and score 40 points. Because Larry Bird did that. Larry Bird was known for talking trash. Like Luka talks trash right now. And he argues with the refs right now. And he'll talk trash. Larry Bird, all he did was talk trash. And Luka, by the way, Slovenia, he's not American. So we're talking about American in the 21st century, 877-881-1053. And Cooper Flagg is only 19. He's broken records that LeBron used to have, the youngest teenager to ever do this, ever do that. Most points scored by a teenager, 49. Could have been 51 easily. Cooper Flagg keeps doing amazing things. He doesn't talk trash, though. He's kind of quiet out there. He makes faces and scowls like, I did that. He did a too short, the shoot
too
short,
small.
just too small. I mean, he does. The thing that I think people underestimate about Cooper Flagg is the size of his hands. There's a buddy of mine who's a scout for the Knicks. He told me this before Cooper was drafted and before the Mavericks even had the number 1 pick. When people were doing comps and they were saying, he's Scottie Pippen-like, or he's Jason Tatum-like. By the way, Jason Tatum is his hero. Larry Bird, Jason Tatum, he grew up in Maine. But Jason Tatum, he says, I'm more like Jason Tatum. This scout told me he's like Kawhi Leonard. And I said, what do you mean? He said, the defense is there.
Yeah.
He can block shots at the rim. He's a rim protector, but he also protects the perimeter. He's like a 3-and-D, but he's 6'9".
Yeah.
He's got unusual energy. He's got a high basketball IQ. And his floater and his 2 game is on point. The 3's going to come.
People were comparing him to AK-47 too. Coming in.
Austin Reeves. So check this out. When he was saying Kawhi, he was talking about the reach too. He said he's got the wingspan, which is over 7 foot, and he said the mitts, which is the hand size. Cooper Flagg can wave that ball around like Michael Jordan. He can wave it in your face. He can switch hands in the air without having to dribble in the paint. And he can dunk left-handed right, bounce it off the glass with his hands. I mean, do not underestimate the size of his hands, that he can do stuff that most people can't do. And he's very high energy. And he's got handles. I'm not saying he's got sick handles. It's not sick handles, but he can distribute the ball, bring the ball up the court. You don't have to worry about somebody stealing it from him. And because of his IQ, he knows where everybody's supposed to be, so he can make great passes. Larry Bird was notorious for incredible passes. No-look passes.
I never got to watch Larry Bird play, but
look at the highlights on YouTube.
I mean, we're watching Winning Time, that HBO Max series they had. I think it was back in 2022 about the Lakers dynasty, and it was like Magic versus Bird. Yeah, you watch Larry Bird's antics then, man. Dude did not care.
He didn't care. He talked major trash, but he could back it up. I mean, he literally could back it up. When he won the three-point contest, the first ever three-point contest in Dallas, 1986, he goes out there with his warm-up jacket on, and he tells everybody in the dressing room or the locker room before they go out, okay, who's coming in second? That's what he said, right? I remember they were playing the Mavericks in a game, and Dale Ellis was playing for the Mavericks back in those days, and Larry Bird he scored 50 points on the Mavericks. And when he had 48, he was calling his shots. He was telling Ellis and the Maverick, ask Derek Harper about this. He was telling them where he was going to shoot, how he was going to do it, and how he couldn't stop him. And then on the 50, he says, left-handed, swish! And just started laughing down the court. That was Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Bad man. And another 20th century white American player that had crazy sick handles and incredible passes, could make a shot too. That would be White Chocolate Jason Williams. Look up his highlights when he was playing for Sacramento Kings. Oh, my God. Did you know he played basketball and football with Randy Moss? Hall of Famer Randy Moss. You know Randy Moss from Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, yeah.
Patriots. He played White Chocolate. I know those guys real well. White Chocolate was telling me back in the day. He said, hey, because I said I was going to have Randy Moss on my show. He said, hey, call him by his nickname. I said, what do you mean call him by his nickname? He said, we were in high school in West Virginia. His nickname was Super Freak. Call him Super Freak. I said, what y'all call him Super Freak? I'm thinking about Rick James' song. He says, no, we call him Super Freak because he could do anything. He could play basketball, he could play football. He was my wide receiver in football. I was a quarterback. When we were playing basketball, he was a small forward, but he was shooting forward, and I was a point guard. And I'd set him up. And I was like, he said, Super. So when I first ever met Randy Moss, I said, hey, Super Freak. He turned around and said, how you know that? But Jason Williams, you got to look up the YouTube highlights.
Oh,
he
no,
had
dude.
sick
White
handles.
Chocolate? Oh, yeah.
And so did Pete Maravich, Pistol Pete Maravich. For anybody saying Steve Nash, he's from Canada, so he don't count. He's not a USA citizen. But yeah, Cooper Flagg, as he gets better and better, and you heard the summary at the end of that All the Smoke. The summary was this. He's still young. He was only 18 when they drafted him. He's 19 now. The future's bright. He's blowing everybody's minds. And I'm telling anybody, if you're not watching Cooper Flagg, forget about the the Mavericks record. They've lost 10 in a row. He didn't play last night because that foot thing, he's only missed 5 games whole season. He's very durable. But let me say something. You're blocking your own blessing if you don't watch him. You're missing out, and you're going to be saying, man, I missed that. And he's only going to get better because he's only 19. And as he mentioned in this broadcast, Larry Bird, when he was Rookie of the Year and first team All-Pro, he was 22. That's 3-4 years younger than Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg's on his way, though.
He's on his way. Somebody texting, Pete Maravich 1,000 times better than White Chocolate. Yes, he was.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. So there you go. Little Cooper Flagg talk. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the Rangers, and we might slide in some USA, Canada, and the Dallas Stars next on 105.3 The Fan.
50 years in the Lone Star State, a one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you...
The Fan's coverage is also brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Plano and On Time Experts Heating and Plumbing. Your one and only home of the Rangers is 105.3 The Fan.
Welcome back to Fan Weekends. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. #1 Chevy dealership in the world for 3 years straight, and they've got more new Chevys than anyone, all priced to sell. Silverado, Tahoe, Blazers, Equinox, and more. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, and enjoy the difference. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023 through 2025.
Thanks a lot, Adam. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the Fan Phenom Eric Casarez, and we are here with you for the next 15 minutes or so because Texas Rangers baseball is back. Spring training, Cactus League, they're taking on the Cubs at 2 o'clock. You'll hear it right here in your home of the Rangers, 105.3 The Fan. And we've got some news. Roster minding is a sport. We got a Texas Ranger who got hurt, and he probably won't be on the roster when the season starts. He's not going to make the opening day roster. He'll be on the team, but Cody Freeman, who's going to play a utility role for the team, well, he's going to miss the next 4 to 6 weeks. He's got a fracture in his lower back. This just came out today, according to the Morning News. And Evan Grant, oh, man. They're going to be able to utilize him like in a Josh Smith kind of a role, but he ain't going to be ready for a while. They say his spring training won't even start for another 4 weeks. And so he definitely won't be ready for the opening day roster. By the way, opening day, March 26th in Philadelphia. By the way, all the shows, since we are the home of the Rangers, will be heading out to surprise Arizona at various points over the next few weeks. Just keep that in mind. In other roster minding news, we talked about this at the start of the show. For those who missed this, last night, the Cowboys cut a veteran with a Jinsu knife. No, I'm just kidding. They cut him off the roster. Logan Wilson, the linebacker that they traded for in the middle of the season from Cincinnati, gone. They never really gave him a chance.
No, they didn't. Yeah, and like we said, you brought him in to replace damaged goods with Kenneth Murray. So you were hoping that he was going to replace him and at least start over him. I don't care about the DNPs and the Bengals at his end of tenure. We wanted him to come in and at least be better than what Kenneth Murray was providing you. And it turns out he only ended up playing 7 games and didn't start much.
Yep. Well, like I said, we got more roster-minding news, including injuries. Let's touch on this real quick. Cooper Flagg has not played since just before the All-Star break because of this mid-foot injury he's got. It's not an ankle, it's a mid-foot that's bothering him. Tomorrow, we don't know if he's going to play against the Pacers in Indiana as Rick Carlisle, whose team got fined for tanking. Which team wants to win? The Mavericks have lost 10 straight games. A very long losing streak. I bet they break the streak tomorrow.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Or Monday.
I think the Pacers just really don't want to win at all.
They might break it Monday. You said they're playing Brooklyn on Monday, right?
Tuesday.
Okay,
on Monday, Cooper Flagg will be on the Tonight Show with
That's
Jimmy
right.
Fallon.
Okay, so Tuesday they play in Brooklyn. They could break it
Stars fans, I hope you're sitting down. We got another roster minding situation to bring up. Who's the best player on the Stars roster?
Miko
got hurt.
Really?
Yes. When Finland lost in the Winter Olympics Friday.
Brutal.
To Canada, Canada. United States beat Slovakia. They lost to Canada 3-2. Heartbreaking loss to Finland. All these Dallas Stars, the Finnish Mafia, they got knocked out. They had the lead 2-0. They just needed one more goal. All they had to do, and then it would have been Finland versus the United States. But they didn't do that. They lose 3-2. Mikko is hurt. He will not be able to play in the bronze medal game against Slovakia because, how do they say this in hockey? Oh, he's got a lower body injury. Lower body?
Yeah.
That could be his toe. That could be his waist. It's below his navel, but he's out. So for Star fans, you're like, okay, so he won't get to play in the bronze game. Wait a minute. The season resumes on Wednesday. They'll be hosting the Kraken. Seattle's coming to Dallas. Is he going to play? Well, you know how hockey does this. They ain't telling nobody.
This was tweeted out by Elliot Friedman about an hour ago. He said, Mikko was hurt in the third period of yesterday's game. Will be reevaluated when he returns to Dallas regarding the severity and timeline of the injuries. Apparently, though, it is not concerned that this is season-ending injury.
It's not season-ending, but it's something to think about. And you know hockey, they are so vague. They will not tell you anything. Anything. Okay, so for the big gold medal game, so Finland's player, the Finnish Mafia without Mikko, the Moose, he's not going to play. Finland's trying to get that bronze, get some of these stars get a bronze medal. You hope they can. But for the stars players themselves who are actually able to play in the bronze medal, you still have for Finland, you have Roope Hintz, Esa Lindell, Miro Heiskanen. They have a chance. Finland's general manager, of course, former Stars great, Jerry Lehtinen, number 26, waving in the air, his sweater waving up above the rafters in the American Airlines Center. Cross your fingers, then get the bronze. But for the gold, you got star versus kind of star. Both of them are stars. One of them plays, one of them just doesn't dress. You know who I'm talking about who doesn't dress? Otter. Please let Otter suit up. Let him put on his sweater. Let him go out there on his skates. Let him represent. Let's help win this gold medal. Make him available. You hadn't let him play at all. Come on, USA. Let Jake Ottinger out there. And if Jake Ottinger doesn't play, he should wear a Jason Robertson star sweater. They didn't pick Robo. They're treating him like Robo. I'm playing, but I'm serious.
From the 817, what is the foot fracture that destroys a career? Is that the Lisfranc? Is that
Lisfranc?
Lisfranc, right? That's the one that KD had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he overcame that. But it's
overcame it.
It's one of those things you got to be careful about that thing. The other star who has a chance to win a gold plays for Canada, Thomas Harley. Harley has a chance to win the gold medal. Like another star, the OG in the locker room, Jamie Benn, was the captain of Team Canada when they won the gold medal way back in the day. So he's got a gold medal. Harley's trying to get one. The USA saying, not so fast. And by the way, the USA's women team, they beat Canada a couple of days ago. They all got gold medals. I found this out recently, too. I didn't know this. Did you know that coaches don't get gold medals? Just the players, just the athletes.
I did not know that.
You can be a coach. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw a video the other day of one of the American coaches asking the players to hold the medal, and I was surprised to find out that they didn't get them.
Coaches do not get gold. They don't get any medals. Just the athletes, even though they work just as hard as the athletes. It's all for the athletes themselves. So, I mention this because also as an assistant coach for Team Canada is Jim Nill, the Stars general manager. He ain't getting no gold or silver. He's just an assistant coach on the staff. But again, good luck to Team USA. And I think it was last year when they had the Big Four, and it was a great tournament. And it was Canada versus USA. Canada eked that thing out. But USA, yes, I think it's our time. We're going to find out. You got any big plans the rest of this afternoon? Are you going to watch some college basketball or listen to the Rangers on the radio?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely on the way back, listen to some Rangers, watch some college basketball tonight, but I got to get home and get my 17-mile long run done. So
before the night's over with?
Oh, yeah, I got to do it. Hey, but it's nice weather out there.
How many minutes?
How many minutes is it going to take me?
Yeah.
It'll take me right around under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours. He's a beast. He's a beast in the studio.
Grind don't stop.
And the college basketball that all eyes in the nation are looking for is kind of like a preview of the Final Four. You got the top 4 teams in the nation. They're playing each other, not in a round robin, but Arizona's going to take on Houston. either one of those teams could win the whole national championship. Michigan versus Christian Flagg and Kyrie Irving's team, and Duke. Michigan versus Duke. Any of those two teams could win it all. So everybody's excited about what can happen in those matchups. And there's some local angles as well. You can keep up with all the college basketball, get you ready for some March Madness. The conference championships are right around the corner as well. But you're about to get that run in?
About to get that run in and be listening to some music, maybe throw on the show here and there. It's going to be a good one.
You asked me on my top 3 on your, what was the name of your game again?
Oh, Keep 3, Cut 5.
Keep 3, Cut 5. You named 3 rappers I should keep out of a very tough 6 or 8. I think it was 8 of them. Who would you keep for your 3?
I would go.
Go ahead.
I would go J. Cole for sure. I would go Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
And you put me on the spot, Kanye.
See, you put us on the spot too.
You're right.
I like the way you did that. Keep those things up. And by the way, appreciate all the Tolos listening to us for all for the last 4 hours, and you turn it on and leave it on the rest of the day as well, because Texas Rangers baseball is coming up with a hot stove show with Jared Sandler. That's next on 105.3 The Fan.
Sean and RJ, the KNC Masterpiece, G-Bag Nation, and Fan After Dark, live and local. Turn it on.